Chapter 1121. Not again. You're paranoid, Ning Shu said disdainfully. If you can't prove that I'm guilty, please leave. This was the problem of resources. Sinan could report the case, but he could make her a suspect without any evidence. Ordinary people didn't have so many privileges. The police had to leave. After all, Ning Shu didn't commit the crime. They were two different places away from each other, so there was no stalking, as Sinan said. Sinan glanced at Ning Shu with hatred and turned to leave. As soon as the group of people left, Ning Shu sprayed the disinfectant spray all over the room. It was hard to guarantee that Sinan didn't leave any saliva or something. What if Sinan's virus mutated and his saliva could also infect people? At the same time, Ning Shu packed up his things and bought a bus ticket to go to the interview. He didn't want to play with them anymore. Anyway, these 4 people wouldn't live well for the rest of their lives. With AIDS, life would be like falling into darkness. There were too many inconveniences. People would look at them strangely wherever they went. Moreover, these 4 people were all public figures. They would be recognized wherever they went. In this case, their careers were almost over. Su Qi and Sinan couldn't be the leaders of a company anymore. Ji Bei's career was completely ruined. With AIDS, no one was willing to invite him to act, and no one was willing to contact him. Endorsements and advertisements were all over the world, but now they were all history. Ning Shu dragged his luggage to the capital. Damn, the rent was so expensive. Ning Shu could only rent a basement for now. Then he went to the company for an interview. Ning Shu had been abroad for a mission, so he could speak a foreign language fluently. He passed the interview and started his internship. This company was one of the top 500 companies in China. It was quite good to be able to enter such a company. However, the internship was very busy. Before he became an official employee, he was always nervous. 3 months later, Ning Shu finally became an official employee. Life was like a slow struggle, one step at a time. Other than work, Ning Shu also paid attention to the entertainment industry. Because of Su Qi, the Su family's management rights were revoked by the board of directors. The Su family did not have any rights in the company, but with shares and dividends, they could still survive. Sinan was also forced to resign from the position of president. He found someone else to run the company and became the big boss behind the scenes. However, the two of them were used to calling the wind and calling the rain. Not having power in their hands was also a kind of torture. However, there was very little gossip about Wuxia on the internet, and no one knew how he was doing. However, with Ning Shu's understanding of Wuxia, he was afraid that Wuxia was hiding somewhere, not daring to come out. This man was just an ordinary man. He was really ordinary, so ordinary that he couldn't be more ordinary. Sometimes, kindness was synonymous with cowardice. She had the selfishness of an ordinary person. In the plot, she made use of Du Bing. If she was really kind, she should have stopped her man. But she didn't stop them. Moreover, in the plot, the 4 of them didn't have a public opinion crisis yet. It was just these 3 men who deliberately made things difficult for Du Bing. Ning Shu had exposed their relationship and dragged out Su Shishuang to block the arrow. In this country, many people knew them. They were waiting to be isolated from the world. Otherwise, wherever they went, people would look at them as if they were monsters. Unless they went abroad and went to a place where no one knew them. They had to be careful and afraid that people would find out that they had AIDS. These 4 people were gradually fading out of the public sight. After all, it was not a glorious thing, and it would affect the company. As time went by, people would gradually forget this matter. But so what if they had forgotten? The 4 of them were suffering from this disease, so they would slowly suffer. Ning Shu called up the GPS and found that these 4 people had gone abroad. In this situation, they still wanted to know each other and stay with each other. It was really touching. What a touching love, undying love. However, if they didn't hug each other for warmth, others wouldn't play with them. If they didn't, these 4 people wouldn't have sex. After losing so much, they probably wouldn't be satisfied in their hearts. There would definitely be times when they would resent each other. Even if they resented each other, they still had to be together. No matter how beautiful love was, it couldn't beat the cruelty of time. No matter how beautiful love was, it couldn't beat the rush of emotions. Ning Shu, My heart is so tired. Why couldn't she see beautiful love, and let her believe in love? Well, true love was like seeing a ghost. Ning Shu had seen ghosts, but he had never seen true love. Love was too intolerant. It wanted to have the other party completely, but it couldn't tolerate any betrayal. Once there was a problem, the world would be full of men and women. Since they were no longer in the country, Ning Shu couldn't be bothered to pay attention to them. He worked hard and sent some of his salary back home. Ning Shu also moved from the basement to a one-bedroom apartment, but the rent was really expensive. When it came to work, Ning Shu was quite handy. When he was doing missions, he even managed the company. Now he was just doing the work of one person, so it was very easy. Mission completed. Do you want to leave the mission world? 2333's voice sounded in Ning Shu's mind. Ning Shu nodded. Let's go. Ning Shu felt dizzy and returned to the system space. Seeing the empty space and the black hole in the wall, Ning Shu didn't feel too good. Now that he couldn't open the system shop, he couldn't even exchange for a table or a chair. Ning Shu first sat on the ground to absorb the pure soul energy. When his soul was full, Ning Shu opened the status panel and looked at his harvest. Number, 2333. Name, Ning Shu, Advanced Mission Taker. Age, 27 points. 27 155 000 000/4 000 soul. 330 life. 111 wisdom. 334 charm. 20 luck. 189 spirit. 220 faith. 16515 martial strength. 342 qualifications. 119 merit. 13460 skills. 5th ring shooting technique, trash fighting technique, beginner peerless martial arts, beginner poison technique, beginner business management knowledge, beginner code programming, beginner lawyer skills, master ghost catching skills. Honorary titles: Goddess of War, Selfless. Ancestor items: Calm Aura, Faith Aura, Amulet 4, Upgraded Amulet 2 Aura. Mother of the World, Queen's Blessing. Model Worker, Chunxi's Blessing. Leader Aura, Grass Blessing. Lifelong Friend, Miao Miao Miao's Blessing. Life-Saving Hand, Zhu Sunyang's Blessing. Founding Female General, Chen Ermiai's Blessing. Lawful Beauty, Chen Ning's Blessing. Fulfill Du Bing's wish. Don't be slandered. Let these people have a taste of being despised by thousands. Mission reward: 6 million points, 50 attribute points, 2,000 faith. Ning Shu saw the rewards and was quite satisfied. Chapter 1122. Her faith was increasing more and more, and she was getting closer and closer to becoming a super mission giver. Her faith was probably the first to reach the standard, but 100 million points was a bit of a scam. The points had to reach the standard. Ning Shu distributed the 60 attribute points. Number, 2333. Name, Ning Shu, high-level mission giver. Age 27 points. 2715 000 000/4 000 soul. 330 HP. 111 wisdom. 33410 charm. 2010 luck. 18910 MP. 22010 faith. 16515 martial strength. 34210 aptitude. 11910 merit. 13460 skills. 5th ring shooting technique, trash fighting technique, beginner martial arts, beginner poison, beginner business management, beginner code programming, beginner lawyer, beginner ghost catching skill. Honorary titles: Goddess of War, Selfless. Ancestor items: Calm Aura, Faith Aura. Amulet 4, Upgraded Amulet 2 Aura. Mother of the World, Queen's Blessing. Model Worker, Chunxi's Blessing. Leader Aura, Grass Blessing. Best Friend, Miao Miao Miao's Blessing. Lifesaver, Zhu Sunyang's Blessing. Founding Lady, Chen Ermiai's Blessing. Lady Justice, Chen Ning's Blessing. After doing these things, Ning Shu found that he had nothing else to do, so he said to 2333, "Let's see how Du Bing is doing after she returned. The transmission function hasn't been fixed yet, so I can't see it." 2333 said. Ning Shu's heart was as calm as still water. 2333 said, "I can tell you that Du Bing achieved success in her career, became the company's director, and found a man who loves her." That's it. Ning Shu was expressionless. Oh, it's not just that. Si Nan and the others were probably so angry that they paid the company to dismiss Du Bing. Du Bing was so angry that she went abroad to work. They can't help her everywhere. It's better for her to go abroad. If the company wasn't good, you could either endure, be ruthless, or leave. Ningshu nodded. No one's life was smooth sailing. The strength of a person was the ability to deal with unbearable people and things, and ultimately, defeat the weak and cowardly self. Ningshu wanted to explore the virtual space, but the channel to the virtual space was broken. There was nothing good in her system space. It was better to go and complete the quest. Ning Shuchao said to 2333. Enter the quest. Okay. Remember to repair the space. Ning Shu said. Didn't these two beads fight and create a black hole? With so much energy overflowing, you can't absorb it. I'm trying to absorb it. I'm doing your mission. Ning Shu was thrown out of the system space feeling dizzy. Was he crazy? What did she say wrong? Ning Shu's soul fused with his soul. He sat up and shook his head, feeling a little dizzy. This was a stone room, but the stone room was very luxurious. There was a red silk curtain, a dressing table, a wardrobe, and a delicate incense burner. Faint white smoke floated out, causing the stone room to emit a faint and elegant smell. Ning Shu rubbed his head, feeling a little dizzy, and began to accept the plot. This story revolved around a secret martial arts manual. This was a martial arts world. When martial arts developed to the extreme, it would develop into cultivation. And there was a secret manual called Gui Yuan Divine Art that could make the cultivator immortal and achieve immortality. The purpose of cultivation was to make oneself stronger, to let oneself live longer, to compete with the heavens. So this Gui Yuan Divine Art became something that both the righteous and the righteous wanted to fight for. If one cultivated this secret manual, not only would they have great power, but they could also become immortal. It was too crazy. The original owner was called Hong Yi, the sister of the Holy Devil cult's leader, Yi Hua. In the words of those righteous people, Hong Hua was a witch. This was the story of a righteous youth who infiltrated the Holy Devil cult. His goal was naturally to obtain the Gui Yuan Divine Art. If this heaven-defying secret manual fell into the hands of the Holy Devil cult, it would be a disaster. The righteous people sent a youth to infiltrate the Holy Devil cult, and gave him the identity of an orphan. His entire family was killed. And it was Hong Ye's father, the previous leader, who brought him back to the Holy Devil cult. Hong Ye and Qi Yi could be considered childhood sweethearts. As Qi Yi grew older, he became more handsome and dashing. In the Holy Devil cult, he had the title of Jade-Face Young Gentleman. The more beautiful something was, the more poisonous it was. Hong Yi was a young girl in love, so she was naturally attracted by this jade-face young gentleman. Qi Yi pretended to be polite to Hong Yi, wanting to know the whereabouts of the Gui Yuan Divine Art. Qi Yi told Hong Hua that if she could obtain the Gui Yuan Divine Art and cultivate it, she would be able to be with the person she wanted to be with for a long time. Hong Yi thought that the person Qi Yi was talking about was her. Therefore, she was very eager to help Qi Yi find the secret manual. In addition, the leader was her brother, so his position was quite high and he had special privileges. She tried her best to help him find the secret manual. When her brother found out, he punished the traitor with 18 kinds of torture. Hong Yi even stuffed things into Qi Yi's arms, helping him to buy time for him to escape. Yi Hua was so angry that he wanted to cripple his sister. He raised his hand, thinking that she was his only family member. However, Hong Yi was still locked in the room by her brother, not allowing her to step out of the room. Mei Wu, who had protected Hong Yi since she was young, pleaded with the leader every day, asking him to release Hong Yi and guarantee that she would not make any more mistakes. Yi Hua was now busy looking for Qi Yi, so he had no time to care about his sister. He did not kill such a person who sided with an outsider only because of his dead father. Mei Wu brought new things to Hong Yi every day, hoping that she would be happy. Hong Yi did not care about Mei Wu's thoughts at all. She looked forward to Qi Yi coming back to save her every day. Qi Yi came back, but he brought a group of righteous sects to exterminate the entire Holy Devil cult. So many cult members fell in front of her one by one. Qi Yi stood in the middle of them, shining brightly and incomparably tall. In the end, her brother ate a forbidden medicine, and erupted with his greatest strength. Then, all the meridians in his body were broken. All the disciples of the Holy Devil cult were in despair. They wanted to protect their cult master and leave, ignoring Hongye. The Holy Devil cult excluded Hongye. In the eyes of the righteous sects, Hongye was a demoness. Qi used his sword to kill Hongye. Meiwu took the sword for Hongye and was mercilessly pierced through by Qi. Meiwu vomited blood and asked Hongye to leave quickly. Hongye was scared out of her wits by the sudden incident. She stared blankly at Qi walking towards her like a demon god. The sword in his hand was covered in blood, dripping on the ground along the blade. Chapter 11:23. The pain of being deceived and exterminated made Hongye fight back, but Qi was stronger than she thought. In the end, Qi pierced her heart. Before she died, Hongye grabbed Qi's clothes tightly. She spat out blood and asked, "Why did you lie to me?" Qi looked down at Hongye and said contemptuously, "You're just a demon girl." Qi cut off Hongye's hand that was grabbing his clothes. The Holy Devil sect was completely finished. Hongye spat out blood and died. Hongye's wish was to not be deceived by Qi. Kill Qi and take revenge on those righteous sects that came to exterminate the sect. Revive the Holy Devil sect. After Ning Shu accepted the plot, he couldn't help but twitch his mouth. He hated this kind of thing the most. People usually hated those who lied to them. But the reason why a lie could succeed was because someone was willing to indulge in it. Lies were like arsenic wrapped in sugar-coated sugar. If one's position wasn't firm, they would betray their own beliefs and the Holy Devil sect that could protect them. She was a member of the Holy Devil sect. This label couldn't be washed away in this lifetime. People had to stick to their own position and principles. Otherwise, they wouldn't please either side. For the sake of love, she used almost lowly actions to please her lover, hoping to get the charity of love. Was this mission to exterminate all the righteous sects? The winner was the king. Ning Shu had a headache. Forget it, he would take one step at a time. Ning Shu liked revenge that didn't involve blood. He felt that he was cute. When Hongye died, she wasn't even 16 years old. She was still an innocent girl. Innocent. For this mission, Hongye will give up all her souls. 2333's voice sounded in Ning Shu's mind. Ning Shu was stunned. All of them. Hongye didn't give up her soul for herself, but for the Holy Devil sect, for her brother whose meridians were all broken, and for Meiwu who died for her. She was repenting. A maid walked in. Ning Shu said, "Miss Qi is waiting for you outside." Ning Shu nodded and put on her fiery red clothes. There was a string of delicate bells hanging from her waist. As she walked, the bells let out a crisp sound. Ning Shu looked in the mirror. Liking this dress made her look like a witch from the demonic sect. So this time, she was a demon who killed people as she pleased? Speaking of which, the original host really didn't kill anyone. She was raised like a lady from a respectable family. Yihua treated this little sister pretty well. Ning Shu took a rope that was as thin as a steel wire and put it on his body. He walked out of the stone room and saw Meiwu standing in front of the door. Ning Shu stared at Meiwu. He was about 17 or 18 years old. He looked dull and ordinary. However, she had always been by Hongye's side to protect her since she was young. She put Hongye first in everything and thought for Hongye in everything. She was truly an exceptionally loyal dog. If you kill someone, I'll help you bury the corpse. No matter how kind or vicious you are, I'll stay by your side. But Hongye couldn't see it. "Miss," Meiwu called out to Ning Shu, "do you want me to follow you?" Usually, when Hongye wanted to meet Qi, she would not let Meiwu follow her. However, Ning Shu had a plan this time, so he said to Qi, "Come with me." Meiwu was a little surprised, but he followed behind Ning Shu obediently. The Holy Demon cult's base camp was on a mountain peak. They dug through the entire mountain peak and built all kinds of rooms inside. The terrain inside was extremely complicated. It was winding and difficult to attack. Therefore, the Holy Demon cult was basically very safe. The righteous sects mocked the Holy Demon cult for being like rats that only knew how to dig holes. The Holy Demon cult didn't care. Ning Shu turned left and right and arrived in front of a lotus pond. It was summer now. The lotus flowers swayed and water flowed out of bamboo tubes into the pond. Ning Shu saw the lotus flowers and immediately said to 2333 in his heart, "See if there's any world origin." 2333. A man in brocade clothes stood beside the lotus pond. He was tall and slender. His back was facing Ning Shu as he looked at the lotus flowers in the pond. Ning Shu walked over and saw carps in the pond. Qi turned around. Ning Shu smiled. "You're here." Qi had sword-like eyebrows and bright eyes. His back was straight, and he gave people a sense of security. He felt that this person's temperament was actually different from that of Gij from the demon cult. He always had a faint sense of righteousness. Perhaps this was the reason why Hong Yi was attracted to him. This person was so different. He was so different from those flirtatious bitches from the demon cult. "Why did you call me here?" Ning Shu asked Qi. Qi stared at Ning Shu with a burning gaze. Ning Shu's expression didn't change as he looked at Qi's eyes. "Let's see who will be cross-eyed first." "Hong Yi, have you heard of a book?" Qi asked Ning Shu. Ning Shu shook his head. "No." "Qi. Rumor has it that there's a secret manual that allows one to communicate with heaven and earth and understand yin and yang. It's called the Holy Guvyuan technique." Ning Shu didn't reply, so Qi could only continue talking. When Qi mentioned the Holy Guvyuan technique, Mei Wu, who was standing nearby, frowned and glanced at Qi. He glanced at Ning Shu and lowered his head. "That's awesome. It sounds unrealistic. Don't listen to such unfounded rumors. They're only used to trick children. How can you believe them?" Ning Shu rolled his eyes and disagreed. "Qi, if you really find the secret manual and master the divine technique, you can be with the person you want to be with forever." Qi stared at Ning Shu with a burning gaze. Qi's gaze was so bright that it could make people feel hot all over. "Ning Shu, this must be adultery. Master the divine technique." "Yes. If you master the divine technique, you can become an immortal. You can be with the person you love and live a carefree life," Qi said with a yearning expression. He looked at Ning Shu with a hazy gaze. Dao was both emotional and emotionless. "Ning Shu, divine technique. The day I master the divine technique will be the day I conquer the world of love. Not only do I want to kiss in the day, but I also want to have sex at night." Qi must be talking about this kind of divine technique. He just needed to take a tonic pill. "You're the sect master's sister. Can you help me find the secret manual? If you find it, we can cultivate together," Qi said. The original owner of this body was probably too naive. She couldn't even tell that there was something wrong with these words. Kindness that had seen evil was also kindness. Naivety. Ning Shu curled his lips and nodded readily. He said with a smile, "Okay, but we have to play a little game first. I want to see how my martial arts have been recently. Spar with me, but you have to give me some leeway." "Okay." Ning Shu sparred with Qi. "Give me some leeway. Can you pretend that you're caught by me?" Qi looked helpless. He didn't even have time to attack before Ning Shu grabbed his wrist. Ning Shu quickly took out a rope to help Qi. Qi was a little surprised. He struggled. "What are you doing?" "We're playing a game. I'll ask and you'll answer." "I like you. Do you like me?" Ning Shu asked. Qi frowned. "Let me go first." "You don't like it." Ning Shu slapped Qi's face with a loud slap. Chapter 1124. After being slapped by Ning Shu, Qi didn't come back to his senses for a long time. He even forgot to struggle. Not only was Qi dumbfounded, even Mei Wu looked as though he had seen a ghost. "You," Qi said furiously. Ning Shu interrupted him. "Do you like me?" So hesitant. "It seems like you don't like me." Ning Shu slapped the other side of Qi's face. "You. I like you so much, but you don't like me." Ning Shu slapped both sides. Qi's face was flushed red and swollen. "I'll give you one last chance. Do you like me?" "I like you," Qi immediately shouted. "So perfunctory. You said it without thinking. You are just perfunctory." Ning Shu slapped. Ning Shu kicked Qi's stomach and drew out the sword on Mei Wu's waist. While Qi wasn't paying attention, he ruthlessly slashed Qi's neck. A thin red line appeared on Qi's neck. Qi was shocked and confused. Blood spurted out from the place where the sword slashed. Qi vomited mouthfuls of blood. Qi knelt down and seemed to want to say something. He vomited mouthfuls of blood and fell to the ground. His eyes were wide open as he died with grievances. Ningxu approached Qi with the sword and kicked him. Qi didn't move. Ningxu stood guard at the side and touched Qi's chest to see if it was still beating. He had to make a prompt decision to kill Qi. Otherwise, he wouldn't have another chance in the future. Qi had lived in the Saint Devil cult for so many years and understood the situation in the Saint Devil Peak very well. Previously, he was able to lead the righteous sects to slaughter the Saint Devil cult, because he understood the situation in the Saint Devil cult. Qi was so obedient just now because he wanted to coax her to help him find something. If he didn't kill her, who would he kill? One of the missions could be considered completed, which was to kill Qi. After all, Hongyi had sacrificed all of her soul force. She was quick to cut the Gordian knot. After guarding the corpse for a while, Ningxu checked for any signs of life. There was no sign of life. Ningxu stabbed Qi's heart again with great force, penetrating his body. After all, Qi was the main character, and would become the leader of the righteous faction in the future. It was hard to guarantee that he would not die even after being killed several times. After being stabbed by Ningxu, Qi did not react at all. Moreover, his body gradually lost its temperature. Ningxu stood up. It was good that he was dead. Ningxu wanted to instruct Mei Wu to dispose of the corpse, but he saw a pair of crooked hands reaching for his neck. Ningxu tilted his head back and avoided Mei Wu's hand. He took 2 steps back and looked at Mei Wu. "Are you crazy?" Mei Wu pursed his lips tightly and did not say a word. Ningxu attacked. Ningxu blocked with his sword and shouted at Mei Wu, "What's wrong with you?" Ningxu had just arrived in this world and had not had the time to cultivate. He was relying on the body's reaction. "Mei Wu, I asked you to stop." Ningxu shouted at Mei Wu in a low voice. "You're turning the world upside down." Mei Wu stared at Ningxu's face and stopped attacking. Ningxu asked while panting, "What's going on?" "You're not Mississippi. Who are you? Why are you pretending to be Miss?" Mei Wu looked at Ningxu with an unusually serious expression and asked stubbornly, "What's your motive for pretending to be Miss?" Ningxu did not speak for a long time. He knew that killing Qi might expose him, but it was the best time to kill Qi just now. He called Mei Wu to prevent Qi from escaping. After all, Qi was the person Hongyi liked. It was indeed strange for her to kill him. "I'm your miss," Ningxu lied with a red mouth. Mei Wu was furious. "My miss would not torture someone like this." Ningxu, "Oofed. I've become fond of torturing people. Can't I?" Ningxu calmed his breathing and the inner qi in his dantian spread throughout his body. Mei Wu did not know what to say. He pointed at Qi on the ground. "This is Mrs. favorite person. Why did you kill him?" "As you can see, he doesn't like me. Why can't I kill him?" Ningxu said righteously. Mei Wu did not know what to say. "Anyway, you're not Mississippi. I'm going to tell Cult Master." Ningxu. That Ningxu grabbed Mei Wu. Mei Wu said firmly, "Hold me. I'm going to tell Cult Master too." "Can't you tell that this person is a spy? He wants to trick me into finding the secret manual for him. The pugilistic world is spreading the news that the Guthyuan sacred art is in our holy devil cult." Ningxu wiped his tears. "I can sacrifice the person I like for the holy devil cult." Mei Wu stared at Ningxu expressionlessly. "Did you disguise yourself as Miss for the sake of the Guthyuan sacred art?" "I'm going to tell Cult Master." "Damn it. He was Yihua's loyal dog. How was he Hongya's loyal dog?" "Damn it. Look at my face. Where can you find such a beautiful face in the world?" Ningxu pointed at his face. "You can disguise yourself," Mei Wu said. "Hurry up and hand over my Mississippi, otherwise, prepare to die in the holy devil cult." "Ningxu, my heart is so tired." "I'm really your miss," Ningxu said weakly. "What proof do you have?" Mei Wu stared at Ningxu, his eyes filled with murderous intent. Under his watch, his miss had actually been switched. Ningxu retorted. "What proof do you have that I'm not your miss?" "You're not my Mississippi. I trust my intuition." Mei Wu was about to use his qinggong to fly away, when Ningxu grabbed onto Mei Wu tightly. His stubborn temper really made people anxious. I can prove that I'm your Mississippi look. Ning Shu rolled up his sleeves. Chastity sand. Mei Wu. You're not my Mississippi. You're not my Mississippi. No matter what you say, you're not my miss, Mei Wu said stubbornly. Ning Shu. How am I not your miss? I've never left your sight. How can I be switched? Ning Shu said. Miss has never discussed such matters with me. She has never tried to convince me, Mei Wu said lightly. Ning Shu. You don't believe me, right? I'm explaining it to you. Fine. I'm not your Mississippi. Ning Shu didn't want to argue with Mei Wu anymore. Mei Wu's face darkened and he reached out to attack Ning Shu. Ning Shu didn't dodge and Mei Wu grabbed his neck. Ning Shu was fearless. Come on. Break my neck. If I die, your miss won't be able to come back. With Mei Wu's intelligence, it was very difficult for him to understand this. But Mei Wu still grabbed Ning Shu's neck tightly. Tell me, what did you do to my miss? Ning Shu said with a red face. You want to strangle your miss to death. Hurry up and let go. Otherwise, I won't tell you. Mei Wu released him a little suspiciously. Ning Shu took a deep breath. Chapter 1125. Some people judged people with their eyes, while others judged people with their hearts. The eyes could deceive people, but the heart couldn't. There were many people smarter than Mei Wu. But Mei Wu saw through Ning Shu. Tell me, who are you? Where did Miss go? Mei Wu asked Ning Shu viciously. This body belongs to your Mississippi. After I leave, she'll naturally come back, Ning Shu said indifferently. Then why can't you leave now? I have something to do. What is it? Do what your miss wants to do. Miss wants to kill Qi. Yes. Nonsense. Ning Shu said impatiently. It's up to you whether you believe me or not. What I'm doing is what your mistress wants to do. You have to protect this body well. If I die, your mistress won't be able to come back. I don't believe it. I'm going to tell Cult Master. He'll save Mississippi. Mei Wu released his grip on Ning Shu's neck and turned to leave. Do you have the ability to take one step? Ning Shu stared at Mei Wu expressionlessly. It was really troublesome to meet such a person. You can't save Hongya at all. After I leave, Hongya will naturally come back. Ning Shu threw the sword in his hand and turned to leave. If you tell me, I'll kill myself. Your miss won't be able to come back anymore. Mei Wu was speechless. You really aren't Mississippi. Miss isn't as shameless as you. Mei Wu said. I can keep it from Cult Master, but if Miss doesn't come back, I'll kill you. When will Miss come back? Mei Wu asked, resigned to his fate. 3 to 5 years. That's so long. Then I'll kill you. How dare you? I'm your Mississippi. Ning Shu pointed at the corpse on the ground and said to Mei Wu. Burn him and scatter his ashes. If he was burned to ashes, he wouldn't be afraid that the corpse would come back to life. Mei Wu didn't move. Ning Shu said. I'm your Mississippi. You have to listen to me. Act like how you did in the past, lest others see through you. Mei Wu picked up the corpse on the ground. Ning Shu reminded him again. Cremate it. Do we really have to do this? Miss will be sad when she comes back, Mei Wu said hesitantly. Even if you're sad, there's nothing you can do about it. He's already dead. Cremate him and leave some ashes for your miss to remember. Ning Shu said without much care. By the way, peel off Qiyi's skin while you're at it, Ning Shu instructed. Mei Wu asked. So, why did you kill the person my miss likes? You'll know in the future. Mei Wu carried the corpse away. Ning Shu went back to his room after many twists and turns. Then he sat cross-legged on the stone bed and began to cultivate. Damn it, Mei Wu actually grabbed her neck. Next time, she would definitely grab Mei Wu's arm and throw him to the ground. Ning Shu formed a hand seal and set up a spirit-gathering array. Then he began to cultivate. The Reiki in this world was quite abundant. Ning Shu cultivated for a while. After half a day, Ning Shu's dantian was filled with qi. He felt that his body was full of power. Ning Shu stopped and felt very hungry. He opened the door and saw Mei Wu holding a jar. He handed it to Ning Shu. This is Qiyi's ashes. Ning Shu didn't want to take it at all. He said casually, find a place to bury it and dig it out when your miss comes back. Ning Shu summoned a maid and said, Ask the kitchen to prepare some food for me. Yes. Ningshu saw that Mei Wu was still holding the jar. He asked, "What's wrong?" Mei Wu said, "You'd better put the jar in the room." Put the ashes in the room? Ningshu refused in his heart. Find a place to bury it. Don't let others know. Maybe I'll dig it out and have a chat with him when I miss him. Mei Wu took out a bloody face. This is Qiyi's face. Give it to Elder Shen. Ask him to keep it. I'll need it in the future, Ningshu said to Mei Wu. Elder Shen was a poison doctor. He had a strange temperament and was very cruel. He liked to make medicine people. If someone in the sect made a serious mistake, he would directly send them to Elder Shen to be a medicine man. Sometimes people from reputable and decent sects would come to provoke him. They would all be made into medicine men. Killing people was easy, but being a medicine man was very painful. You might die or live if you were forced to drink all kinds of strange medicine. But if you lived, you would start to test medicine day after day. Needless to say, it was very painful. Basically, no one was willing to go to Elder Shen's stone room. Miss, I'll bury the ashes under the peach tree and send the skin to Elder Shen, Mei Wu repeated. Ningshu nodded. That's it. Go ahead. The maidservant served the dishes. Ningshu was sitting on the stone bench in the pavilion and eating. An old man came over and scowled at Ningshu. You killed Qiyi. This old man was emaciated and had no flesh on his face. He looked gloomy. The way he looked at Ningshu was very dissatisfied and contained a faint murderous aura. This old man was Qiyi's master. When Hongye's father sent Qiyi back, this old man saw that Qiyi had a good constitution and forcibly took him in as a disciple. His disciple was dead. If Ningshu wasn't the daughter of the old sect master and the younger sister of the current sect master, he would have killed Ningshu directly. Ningshu put down his chopsticks. Uncle Old Ghost, Qiyi was a spy planted in our sect by the righteous Tao. Killing him was for the sake of the entire sect. Old Ghost didn't listen to Ningshu's explanation. It's not up to you to say whether Qiyi was a spy or not. You don't have the right to kill Qiyi. You're not putting me, Old Ghost, in your eyes. Ningshu stood up, and the bell on his waist made a crisp sound. Uncle Old Ghost, I will naturally give you evidence whether Qiyi was a spy or not. You have to come with me to see the sect master now. Even if you're the sect master's younger sister, you can't kill my disciple like this. Old Ghost reached out his hand to grab Ningshu's collar. Ningshu dodged Old Ghost's hand. Then I'll go with you to see elder brother. Ningshu said. Hongyi knows that Uncle Old Ghost has worked hard for the Saint Devil cult, but I'm doing this for Uncle Old Ghost. If Qiyi was really exposed as a spy, it would inevitably affect Uncle Old Ghost's position in the Saint Devil cult. Old Ghost stared at Ningshu. Little girl, you're playing tricks on me. Come with me to see the sect master. Ningshu and Old Ghost arrived at the main hall. Yihua was eating. Yihua was wearing a black robe, which made him look oppressive and cold. When he saw Ningshu and Old Ghost, he only glanced at them indifferently. Greetings to the sect master. Old Ghost and Ningshu knelt on the ground. Yihua didn't even raise his head as he asked, What's the matter? Hongyi killed Qiyi. Old Ghost said bluntly. Qiyi is considered an important member of the Saint Devil cult. Hongyi killed him just like that. This is a bit unreasonable. Chapter 1126. He knew that there would be a lot of trouble after killing Qiyi. After all, Qiyi had been in the Holy Devil cult for so many years. It would be hard to explain if he killed him. However, Ningshu still chose to kill Qiyi without hesitation. Protagonists had incomparably tenacious vitality. No one knew what would happen if they missed the opportunity. If they didn't kill Qiyi at that time, Qiyi would definitely escape. Once the tiger returned to the mountain, he would definitely lead a large number of righteous sects to encircle the Holy Devil cult. Brother, Ningshu said. Yihua said indifferently, Call me sect master. Ningshu was speechless. Sect master, that Qiyi is a spy. He even tricked me into finding the origin returning sacred art for him. Ningshu said. Yihua raised his eyebrows and didn't say anything. What a joke. Qiyi was brought back by old sect master. How could he be a spy? Old Ghost said with a trembling face. His sunken eyes stared at Ning Shu. I can prove it. Brother. Sect Master, give me a brush, ink, paper, and inkstone. Ning Shu said. Yi Hua waved her hand, and a maid came over to prepare everything. Ning Shu took the brush and wrote on the paper. I got it. Now I'll find a chance to leave. Ning Shu's handwriting was very messy. After all, his handwriting was different from Qi Yi's. Ning Shu asked the maid to catch a pigeon. This pigeon was raised by Qi Yi. Ning Shu put the slip of paper in a small bamboo tube and tied it to the pigeon's leg. Then he released the pigeon. The pigeon flapped its wings and flew away. After doing this, Ning Shu said to Yi Hua, there should be a reply after a while. Yi Hua waved her hand and asked the maids to remove the dishes on the table. She looked at Ning Shu and said, this noble one remembers that you used to admire Qi Yi. How could you bear to kill him? Actually, you don't have to kill him. It's best to catch a big fish. Yi Hua said. Ning Shu. Side protagonists were creatures. If they weren't completely destroyed, they would always be the ones who went overboard. If you like, you can imprison Qi Yi. Why did you kill him? Yi Hua stood up. The sleeves of his black robe were embroidered with golden embroidery of clouds. As he walked, they flickered with luster. Ning Shu didn't pay attention to Yi Hua's clothes. Instead, he heard Yi Hua mention imprisonment. His heart was filled with a string of curses. This imprisonment shouldn't be the kind of imprisonment she was thinking of. Don't forget, he was from a righteous sect that could be killed but not humiliated. In the future, he would be the leader of the martial arts world. If she imprisoned him, what would she do if he escaped? Killing him was the safest option. Moreover, the original owner's mission was to kill Qi Yi. What righteous path or evil path? The human heart is divided into righteous and evil. Some people use the righteous path's banner to kill people for the sake of the common people. The righteous faction would also do what the demonic faction would do, swindle and cheat. Wasn't Qi Yi doing the same to Hongya? How noble could he be? Don't you admire Qi Yi, that jade-faced young gentleman? Yi Hua approached Ning Shu and asked indifferently. Ning Shu curled his lips and said, but he didn't like me. Sister killed him out of anger. Yi Hua was speechless. Yi Hua turned to Old Ghost and said, I will give Elder Ghost an explanation for this matter. If Qi Yi is really a spy, Elder Ghost should find a new disciple. Yes, Cult Master. Ning Shu left the main hall and headed towards Poison Dr. Eldershen's courtyard. When he arrived at Eldershen's residence, he could hear the wails and howls of ghosts and wolves from the outside. It was like a living hell. Moreover, the air was mixed with the smell of various herbs. Ning Shu stood outside the door. He put his hand to his mouth and shouted towards the room. Eldershen, tell me where there is no poison. I want to come in. There were poisons everywhere around Eldershen. Moreover, there were different kinds of poisons. Although Ning Shu also knew how to poison, he didn't want to be poisoned. Eldershen was a madman in research. He created all kinds of strange poisons that made people wish they were dead. Even Ning Shu had to admit defeat. Eldershen devoted his entire life to making poisons. There are poisons everywhere. Come in, I will give you the antidote. Eldershen's voice came from the room. His voice was very hoarse. When there was no medicine man, Eldershen used himself to test the poison. His throat was poisoned. Ning Shu. She clearly knew that the surroundings were poisoned, but she still walked over. This feeling was indescribable. Ning Shu covered his mouth and nose as he entered the courtyard. There were several medicine men tied to wooden planks. Some of them had green skin and all of their hair had fallen out. Some of them had festering skin. They wanted to die but couldn't. This was simply torture. In the entire Holy Devil cult, Eldershen was the most abnormal. There were basically no outsiders who came to this courtyard. Eldershen messed around with these things every day. Ning Shu stretched out his hand. Give me the antidote. There is no poison. I lied to you. Eldershen said hoarsely. His voice was so hoarse that it sounded like sandpaper scraping on the ground. It made people who heard it feel uncomfortable. Ning Shu checked his own pulse. There were indeed no signs of poisoning. However, Ning Shu still didn't believe Eldershen. The researchers were not in their right minds. Especially a fanatical person like Eldershen. He didn't know if it was because he ate too much poison that destroyed his body's mechanism. He was clearly not 40 years old, but his hair was snow white. Moreover, it was almost all gone. His sparse hair was tied into a bun on his head. He couldn't figure out why this guy was so fanatical. Elder Shen ignored Ningxu. He was holding a bowl of black and thick liquid, and was pouring it into the medicine man's mouth. The medicine man looked like he had nothing left to live for. Tears flowed out of his blind eyes. Elder Shen chuckled. Ningxu? Ningxu asked, didn't Mei Wu send over a piece of skin? Elder Shen, how did you deal with it? Can you use this skin to disguise yourself? Elder Shen gave Ningxu a box. Ningxu glanced at Elder Shen and opened the box. He saw a piece of skin inside. This skin had the texture of skin and even eyelashes. The skin floated in the medicine. Ningxu carefully twisted out the skin. It was a thin layer. It was really as thin as a cicada's wing. Elder Shen, can I use this skin to disguise myself? Ningxu asked Elder Shen. Yes. However, this isn't your skin after all. You have to wear it for a period of time to let the skin breathe. Moreover, this skin has to be soaked in the medicine. Otherwise it will rot, Elder Shen said. Then I'll try. Ningxu put the skin on his face. However, no matter how hard he tried, Ningxu couldn't remove it. Only after a long time did the skin adhere to his face. Ningxu took out a small bronze mirror and looked at it. After all, it was human skin. It wasn't easy to see through the flaws. The ancient technology wasn't bad either. Ningxu looked at Qi Yi's face in the mirror. He didn't ask for a lot of resemblance. After all, Qi Yi came to the Holy Devil cult when he was 11 or 12 years old. Now that he had grown up, it was normal for his appearance to change a little. Ningxu touched his throat. There was no Adam's apple. There were also breasts. The kind of treatment that no one could see when you stuck out your big breasts was the female lead's treatment. Chapter 1127. Her breasts could be tied up, but what about her Adam's apple? Here. Elder Shen took out a bottle of medicine. Ningxu said, you can take this medicine. You have to take it every day. Maybe you can grow an Adam's apple, a beard, leg hair, and chest hair. Ningxu was speechless. Ningxu didn't dare to take the medicine from Elder Shen's hands. She couldn't imagine herself growing a beard and an Adam's apple. Were her breasts going to shrink? This medicine sounded like male hormones. Was she going to grow a penis? Is there any other way? She could be a tomboy, but she couldn't become a transvestite. No. You can just take the medicine when the time comes, Elder Shen said casually. Ningxu was speechless. Not everyone cared about their body. Taking medicine like this was also a form of destruction to the body. What about endocrine disorders? Up to you. You can take the medicine now. Get lost. Elder Shen was about to put away the medicine bottle when Ningxu snatched the medicine from Elder Shen's hands. I'll take it. Ningxu went back to her room with Qi Yi's face. On the way, she met many maidservants. These maidservants even threw handkerchiefs and pouches to Ningxu before running away shyly. As expected, jade-faced young gentleman was so popular. Ningxu sniffed the sachet. It was very fragrant. Mei Wu was guarding the door. When he saw Ningxu, he was stunned for a moment before asking, what exactly are you doing? Nothing. Ningxu went into the room. She took off the skin of the doe and soaked it in the medicinal water. Ningxu took out the medicine bottle and poured out a pill. Looking at the black pill, Ningxu swallowed a mouthful of saliva. If she ate this, she would become a tomboy with a beard? Ningxu threw the pill into her mouth and swallowed it with a gulp. After taking the pill, Ningxu couldn't help but take off his clothes to look at his chest. Did it shrink? Did he grow chest hair? Ningxu sighed and began to cultivate. What was there to be afraid of when one was strong enough? For the past few days, Ningxu had been cultivating. When he was hungry, he would eat and take medicine. After taking the medicine, Ningxu clearly felt that his voice was much lower, and his throat was quite uncomfortable. He was about to become a real man. This thing really messed up the endocrine imbalance, and the most direct manifestation was the abnormal menstruation. Ningxu stayed at home and cultivated. After nearly a month, the pigeons that flew out returned. A maid came to call Ning Shu to the main hall. When Ning Shu arrived at the main hall, he half knelt and saluted Yi Hua. "Greetings, sect master." Yi Hua raised the piece of paper in his hand. "There's a reply. Is Qi Yi really a traitor?" Old Ghost could not help but ask. "Facts have proven that he is," Yi Hua said and passed the piece of paper to Ning Shu. Ning Shu took a look, and the general content was for Qi Yi to quickly leave the Holy Devil cult. There would be someone to receive Qi Yi in the town closest to the Holy Devil cult. This Qi Yi really hid it well. He even hid it from the old sect master. Old Ghost couldn't keep his face and even pulled the old sect master out. Who would have thought that Qi Yi was a spy? I heard that his whole family was killed by the righteous sects, so the old sect master brought him back. It seems that his parents' death was also fake. Old Ghost said indignantly. Those people are really dead. Maybe those people who were killed by the righteous sects have nothing to do with Qi Yi. Old Ghost curled his lips, saying that our Holy Devil cult is evil. These people aren't any better. What do you think? Yi Hua asked Ning Shu. He swept a glance at Ning Shu's face and asked with some astonishment. I haven't seen you for a while. How did your face become like this? Your skin is rough, your face is oily, and the hair on your face has turned black. Yi Hua was busy with the Holy Devil cult every day, so it was normal for the siblings not to see each other for a month. Because they had not seen each other for a long time, Yi Hua immediately saw the changes. Yi Hua's gaze moved down and saw something like an Adam's apple. What are you playing at? Ning Shu. Ning Shu could not help but touch his face and said calmly, Recently, I found out that there is a man living in my body. I want to become a man and give it a try. Nonsense. Yi Hua reprimanded. When Ning Shu said this, the face of Mei Wu, who was standing at the side like a wooden stake, twitched. Old Ghost saw that the siblings were talking, so he asked his subordinate to take his leave and went out. Ning Shu cupped his hands to Yi Hua and said to him, Brother, they can arrange spies. We can also arrange spies. Yi Hua stroked his sleeves and said indifferently, What do you want to do? Ning Shu took out the mask and pasted it on his face. He said to Yi Hua, I can infiltrate the righteous sections. Yi Hua was expressionless. When did you start to care about the matters of the cult? I want to share brother's burden. Didn't that Qi Yi deceive me because I looked like I didn't know anything? Ning Shu said sincerely. Yi Hua reached out and touched Ning Shu's head. His hand slid down to Ning Shu's neck. A pair of cold hands touched Ning Shu's neck. All the hairs on Ning Shu's body stood up. Yi Hua withdrew his hand. This matter is very dangerous. It's not something you can handle. Even if you want to be a spy, it's not you. I can do it. Ning Shu said in a low voice. I wanted to do this, so I asked Elder Shen for the medicine. I can't suffer for nothing. I have my own plans. You don't have to say anything. Go back. Yi Hua waved his hand. Brother. Yi Hua glanced at Ning Shu expressionlessly. Do you want to reply? Ning Shu asked. Wait until we find a suitable candidate. Ning Shu shut his mouth and left the hall. Mei Wu followed behind Ning Shu. Mei Wu drew his sword and placed it on Ning Shu's neck. Ning Shu glanced at the sword, clamped it between his fingers, and moved it away from his neck. What are you doing? I said that if I die, your miss can forget about coming back. Ning Shu said indifferently. If he didn't listen this time, he wouldn't be able to escape a beating. Ning Shu moved his neck, and a cracking sound came from it. Mei Wu's face flushed. He placed his sword on Ning Shu's neck again. Are you a man? Huh. Ning Shu snorted. Mei Wu's face twitched. Did you violate Mrs. Body? Ning Shu. Ning Shu's mind immediately conjured up the image of herself groping Du Bing's body wretchedly. I'm a woman, Ning Shu said righteously. I don't believe you. Mei Wu stared at Ning Shu. You said yourself that there's a man living in your body. I'm a woman. You don't have the tenderness of a woman. I'll believe you if you're a man. Ning Shu. Ning Shu flicked the sword away with her finger and turned to leave. Don't point your sword at me. Your actions will easily arouse suspicion. If I die, your mistress really won't be able to come back. You have to think carefully. Chapter 11:28. Mei Wu took back his sword angrily. If you don't get out of Mrs. Body when the time is up, I'll tell Cult Master. Ningxu rolled his eyes. You can be louder and let others know. Then I'll be burned to death as a monster, and your miss will turn into ashes. Mei Wu felt that his intelligence was being insulted again and again. You should be careful. Why are you threatening me? I advise you to behave yourself and don't jump up and down in front of Cult Master. Miss isn't close to Cult Master, and she's a little afraid of him. Ningxu raised his hand to touch his head, following the place Yihua touched and stopping at his neck. On her neck, Ningxu felt a small protruding thing. It should be a mole. It seemed that Yihua was a little suspicious of her. However, she had to get Yihua's consent and support in order to achieve better results. If Yihua didn't agree, she could only act alone. She was afraid that if she became Qi, Yihua would send people over. At that time, they would have to fight each other. Ningxu returned to his room and wanted to continue cultivating. Mei Wu asked Ningxu, "Are you really going to do such a dangerous thing? You can't risk Mrs. Body. Didn't you say that Miss won't come back if you die? I'll tell Cult Master not to let you go," Mei Wu said. Cult Master, can't you have your own ideas?" Ningxu said angrily. "If Cult Master kills me, your miss won't come back. You have to think carefully. Do you really want to do this? You keep using miss to threaten me. Let me tell you, this threat." "I'm not afraid, Mei Wu stammered. Ningxu said, "When I finish what I have to do, I'll naturally leave. If I don't do anything, I'll leave longer and longer. When your miss comes back, she'll be an old woman with wrinkles all over her face. I want to follow you and protect Mrs. Body," Mei Wu said. "Up to you." The problem was whether Yihua would agree to her going. Ningxu ate a pill and began to cultivate. No matter what, he had to cultivate first. The Qi gene in his dantian was almost able to form Qi form. Now that she had formed her Qi form, her strength had grown even stronger. Ningxu waited for a few days before Yihua finally called her. Yihua must have thought it through. Yihua went straight to the point and said, "I agree that you should go." "Thank you, big brother. Call me Sect Master." "Yes, Sect Master. So heartless, so cold, and so unreasonable." Another letter came, urging us to quickly take the things away. Yihua sneered. Did they really think that the Holy Devil cult could come and go as they pleased? Yihua looked at Ningxu. "This matter is very dangerous. Don't look at how those people are from righteous sections. They seem to have the common people in their hearts. Confucians use literature to overthrow the law, while chivalrous people use martial arts to violate the law. Once you are discovered, you will definitely die miserably." Ningxu's expression was somewhat conflicted. He immediately said, "I still want to go. I also want to help Big Brother. Sect Master, I am also the child of the previous Sect Master." Yihua's face was expressionless as he touched his sleeves. "Does Hongyi want to be the Sect Master?" Ningxu. "Hongyi doesn't have such thoughts. The Holy Devil cult has always been managed by the Sect Master. Moreover, if Hongyi does this, the other cult members will not know. Hongyi relies on the Holy Devil cult's protection. For the sake of the Holy Devil cult's stability, Hongyi has to repay the Holy Devil cult." Yihua's expression was indifferent as he pressed a button on the chair. A small box appeared from the wall behind the chair. Yihua took out a book from the box and threw it to Ningxu. Ningxu quickly caught it and looked. It was Origin Returning Sacred Art. The secret book was very old, as if it had gone through the passage of time. Ningxu said, "Sect Master, actually you can just make a fake one." "This is a fake." Yihua said. "Ningxu, this ability to fake. Take this Origin Returning Sacred Art and meet with those people." Yihua said. Ningxu nodded. "I understand. I will go and prepare." "Is this secret book all fake?" If it was fake, there would be real things inside. If it was completely fake, no one would believe it. Moreover, there were martial arts masters who could tell it was fake with a single glance. 90% of it is real. Yihua said. "Don't think about cultivating. You can't cultivate this thing." Ningxu nodded. "I understand." Ningxu's eyes turned. "Brother, can you cultivate it?" Yihua glanced at Ningxu. This secret book can't be cultivated just by obtaining it. It has to be chosen. Ning Shu understood the meaning behind his words. Yihua didn't cultivate it and didn't give it to others to cultivate. If someone could really cultivate it, then wouldn't they overthrow Comrade Yihua's rule over the Holy Devil cult? Let me know when you are leaving. I will send people to kill you, Yihua said. Be careful. Ning Shu took the things back to his room and casually flipped through the origin returning sacred art. This was actually a very crude and simple cultivation technique. Since it was a cultivation secret book, it needed something like a spirit root. Without a spirit root, ordinary people could only cultivate until they were full of farts. It was completely useless. Ning Shu tied his hair into a man's bun and changed into men's clothes. Then he took out a mask and put it on his face. The mask stuck tightly to his skin. He looked at himself in the bronze mirror. He was a little shorter and his frame was a little smaller. He looked a little like a jade-faced gentleman. Ning Shu carried the package out of the room. Mei Wu was waiting for Ning Shu outside. Ning Shu stared at Mei Wu. Are you really going to go with me? I want to protect Mrs. Body, Mei Wu said. Ning Shu didn't care. He left the Holy Devil Peak without any obstructions. Ning Shu and Mei Wu headed for the town closest to the Holy Devil Peak. However, they were ambushed on the way. These people were all arranged by Yihua. Ning Shu deliberately slipped up and got injured. Mei Wu was also injured. A group of people chased after Ning Shu and Mei Wu. Ning Shu got more and more wounds on his body. However, the wounds weren't serious. They arrived at the town covered in dust. When they arrived at the town, they were still being chased. They killed people on the streets in broad daylight and overturned many stalls. Ning Shu and Mei Wu were in a sorry state. Their bodies were covered in blood. They felt like they had used up all their strength and couldn't hold on any longer. When they passed by a restaurant, a few young talents dressed in white with swords hanging at their waists flew down from the window and blocked Ning Shu and Mei Wu's path. They were very imposing. How dare you, evildoers of the Holy Devil sect? How dare you kill people in broad daylight? Who are you? It's none of your business that our Holy Devil sect is chasing after traitors. Why are you meddling in other people's business? The leader said aggressively. Bah, it's the rats of the Holy Devil sect again. They wear black clothes every day and even cover their faces. Are they really that shameful? One of the young men said. Chapter 1129. A few young men from reputable sects stood in front of Ning Shu, looking awe-inspiring as they mocked the people from the Saint Devil cult. The leader of the Saint Devil cult stared at Ning Shu. Ti, hand over the item and I will let you off. Otherwise, you will be made into a medicine man by Elder Shen. Ti? Wasn't this the person they were waiting for? The young men looked at each other. Young master, are you Ti? A man with delicate features asked Ning Shu. Ning Shu nodded. I am Qi. We are here to receive senior brother under the orders of the Fort Lord. Please don't worry. The man stretched out his hand, bent his fingers, and blew a sharp sound. After a while, a few more people came over. When the leader of the Saint Devil cult saw that he was surrounded, he pointed at Ning Shu and threatened. Just you wait. The cult master won't let you off. Let's retreat. The people who were chasing after Ning Shu and Mei Wu dispersed in a hubbub. These demons from the Saint Devil cult have no morals at all. They bully the weak and fear the strong. The reputation of the Saint Devil cult has been tarnished by these rat-like people. Ning Shu was speechless. Why couldn't they run when there were so many of them? Was it the morals of the Saint Devil cult to die heroically? Senior brother Qi, you don't have to be afraid. The people from the Saint Devil cult have all left, Ning Shu said. Ning Shu hugged the bundle tightly and nodded. Senior brother Qi, why are you so short? Why is your frame so small? A man asked suspiciously. Ning Shu waved his hand and looked as though he couldn't bear to recall the past. He said in a deep voice. You guys know that the people from the Saint Devil cult only know how to dig a hole to live in. Most of the time, they don't get any sunlight. I joined the Saint Devil cult when I was in my teens, but I basically didn't grow any taller. Senior brother Qi, let's bring you to the Fort Lord. Ning Shu was surprised. Even the Fort Lord is here? The Fort Lord is here to receive you personally. Ning Shu nodded and followed the group into a big house. They walked into the hall of the big house. A middle-aged man sitting at the head of the table stood up when he saw Ning Shu enter. He held him up and laughed. "Chi, you're finally back." As he spoke, he patted Ning Shu's shoulder. "Your body is so weak. It's been hard on you." Ning Shu waved his hand. "It's not hard. For the sake of Uncle's matter, and for the sake of all living beings in the world, Chi is not hard at all." This dignified man was the current chief of Wulin, Chi's uncle, and the lord of Zhao Castle. "You've suffered all these years. Go wash up and we'll leave first," Zhao Bo said. Zhao Bo's eyes fell on Mei Wu. It's a demonic sect that I instigated. It's just that there's something wrong with their brains," Ning Shu said. Mei Wu glanced at Ning Shu without saying anything. Zhao Bo laughed heartily. "It's a good thing to abandon the dark and join the light." Ning Shu said, "Let's leave first. This place is very close to the demonic sect. They might catch up with us soon." Zhao Bo smiled faintly and said, "It's okay. There's still time for you to wash up. It seems that Uncle already has a foolproof plan. I'll go take a rest then." Ning Shu looked exhausted. Zhao Bo probably wanted to see if the demonic sect would catch up with them. The demonic sect would not let her go if she had something on her. "Go ahead." Ning Shu looked around the room before washing up carefully. She hugged the package and lay on the bed to sleep. Ning Shu was not sleeping soundly. When she heard the door creak open, Ning Shu pretended to be asleep. She felt a gaze sweeping over her. Ning Shu was wondering who this person was when Zhao Bo's voice sounded. "Let's go. The demonic sect is catching up." At the same time, he pushed Ning Shu. Ning Shu opened her eyes and looked at the sky. It was already dark. "Are they catching up?" Ning Shu hurriedly got up. "Yes, let's go," Zhao Bo said. "We can't let the demonic sect know that we've been here. Otherwise, the good and evil will start fighting again." Ning Shu led Mei Wu out of the big house. The people of the Zhao Castle each rode a horse and galloped towards the Zhao Castle. This place was under the jurisdiction of the demonic sect. The surroundings of every sect were all considered their own territory. It would be strange if the demonic sect was willing to let them rob their things in the demonic sect's territory. The group hurried out of the small town. The people behind them were like maggots in a tarsal bone. Zhao Bo led the people of the Qi Castle to the Zhao Castle. They did not stop to rest on the way. Every time they reached a place, they would change horses. It seemed that this was arranged in advance. In this way, they gradually got rid of the demonic sect's pursuit. Ning Shu saluted Zhao Bo and said, "Uncle, you're so thoughtful. You managed to get rid of the demonic sect's pursuit so quickly." Zhao Bo shook his head. "The Jianghu is dangerous. You have to be prepared for everything. Either the Zhao Castle will be handed over to you sooner or later. In 2 years, the martial arts world will have a general election. At that time, I hope that the martial arts world's chief will still be from the Zhao Castle." Ning Shu's eyes lit up. "Qi will remember this. Qi will not let Uncle down. You're not called Qi anymore. You're called Zhao Yi." "Yes." While they were talking, everyone ate something and hurried on with their journey. The disciples of the Qi Castle, who were very confident before, were now in a sorry state. They had been on the road for almost 10 days. Most of their thighs were bleeding from the abrasion. Ning Shu was not much better. Just like that, they returned to the Qi Castle. Seeing the Qi Castle's gate, Ning Shu was in a daze. Qibo patted Qibo's shoulder. "It's good that you're back. Take good care of your body." Ning Shu was wearing a pair of custom-made shoes to make her look taller. Ning Shu nodded. "Finally, I don't have to worry about the demonic sect anymore. Those people are not human. They attack and kill as they please." Qibo glanced at Ning Shu's bag. "Rest well first. I have something to discuss with you later." "Okay." The housekeeper arranged a room for Ning Shu. However, the room was not good. It was remote and narrow. The furniture and decorations were very old. Ning Shu was expressionless. The housekeeper said to Ning Shu, "This is your room." "Just this room?" Ning Shu stared at the housekeeper. "This is where the servants live. Do you know my identity? How could you arrange such a room for me? I'm just following master's orders." "Nonsense. Ning Shu frowned and kicked the housekeeper out of the room. The housekeeper fell on his back with a thud. The housekeeper knew martial arts. He did not expect Ning Shu to suddenly hit him. He supported his waist and stood up. Pointing at Ning Shu, he said, You. What do you mean by you? You'd better change my room quickly. I don't have a good temper. Ning Shu sat on the bench boldly and decisively. I've worked hard and made great contributions. Just give me this room. The housekeeper clutched his chest and snorted. He left dejectedly. Chapter 11:30. Mei Wu looked at Ning Shu. Can't you keep a low profile? If anything happens to Miss, I won't let you off. Don't mention Miss all the time. Are you afraid that others won't know my true identity? I'm here to cause trouble. It doesn't matter if I keep a low profile or not. I have something that Xiao Bo wants. Ning Shu picked up the ceramic teapot on the table, but there was no water in it. Ning Shu put down the teacup impatiently. I don't even have a sip of water. Ning Shu was dissatisfied when he heard hurried footsteps approaching. What's wrong with you? Xiao Bo walked into the room and looked around. Old Zhao, what are you doing? Why did you arrange such a room for E? Change it to a better one. Yes. The steward immediately said. It's my fault. Old Zhao has worked for Zhao Castle for so many years. Why did he do such a thing as soon as he came back? Xiao Bo said disapprovingly. Ning Shu sneered in his heart. It wasn't Xiao Bo's idea. Ning Shu didn't believe it, so he gave him a show of strength. If he wanted better treatment, he had to give something in exchange. It wasn't good to use such a method. Taking by force wasn't the style of a decent Wulin chief. Even if someone gave him something, he had to refuse it. Zhao Castle will be handed over to you in the future. How can you make your subordinates support you if you do such a thing? Xiao Bo warned Ning Shu. Don't be so reckless next time. Ning Shu said with some shame. Uncle, I've been in the devil sect for a long time. It's inevitable that my temperament is a little weird. You know that those people in the devil sect are abnormal. If I didn't have a little eccentricity and always tolerated everything, I would have been devoured by those bastards. After a long time, I'll get used to the way the devil sect does things. I'll get used to it slowly, Ning Shu said with some annoyance. It's okay. Take your time. Your aunt will prepare a welcome banquet for you and meet Ling. Xiao Bo said with concern for Ning Shu. Then he said to the steward beside him, prepare a better room for Yes, Castle Lord. The steward replied at once. Thank you, Uncle. Will definitely live up to Uncle's expectations. Ning Shu sincerely said to Xiao Bo. Xiao Bo nodded. When you're done, come and have your meal. He then left with his hands clasped behind his back. After the commotion caused by Ning Shu, they were now in a spacious and bright room. The furniture in the room was all new. Obviously, this room was newly decorated. A maid came over and told Ning Shu to eat. When they arrived at the dining area, Xiao Bo's family of 3 was already inside. Xiao Bo had a daughter called Zhao Ling. Other than that, he had no other descendants. Come here quickly. Xiao Bo beckoned to Ning Shu. Uncle. Ning Shu walked over and saw a woman who still retained her charm. This is your aunt. Aunt, I have an impression of her. This is Ling. Cousin. Zhao Ling looked delicate and charming. She sized up Ning Shu and said with some disdain. You're so short. Are you a man? Ling, don't be unruly. How can you talk to your elder brother like that? Madame Zhao reprimanded Zhao Ling. Zhao Ling was obviously a favored child. Her father was the Wulin chief, and she was the only child in the family. In this Zhao castle, there were too many people who flattered her. Zhao Ling was the only heir of the Zhao castle. There was also a saying that marrying Zhao Ling was equivalent to owning the Zhao castle. Moreover, there was a Wulin chief as his father-in-law. It was too comfortable. How many years of hard work would it save? Therefore, wherever Zhao Ling went, men would flatter her. Now there was someone who even her parents cared about so much. Therefore, Zhao Ling was full of hostility towards Ning Shu, this person who suddenly appeared. We're both from the devil sect. You're so short, but he's so tall. Zhao Ling pointed at Mei Wu, who was standing at the side like a wooden stake. His brain was used to grow taller. Ning Shu said indifferently. If you were made into a medicine man by poison scorpion a few times, you wouldn't be as tall as me. Ning Shu's face was emotionless as she said. It's not just because I've been living in the cave all year round. When I first came to the devil sect, poison scorpion made me into a medicine man. My body was poisoned. What? Did my short height bother you? Is there something you don't like about me? Ning Shu stared straight at Zhao Ling'er. How dare you talk to me like that? Zhao Ling'er pointed at Ning Shu. Even in the devil sect, no one dares to speak to me like this. If anyone dares to speak to me like this, I will tear them in half. Ning Shu grinned and punched the wall, creating a small hole in it. Zhao Ling'er's words were stuck in her throat. She stared at Ning Shu with her almond-shaped eyes. Ning Shu blew the dust off his hand. This is no longer the Saint Devil sect. You have to control your emotions. Ling'er is still young and has been spoiled by her mother. Don't bicker with her. Ning Shu immediately said, Yes, uncle. It's my fault. I will definitely control my emotions. Little sister Ling, I'm sorry. Zhao Ling'er straightened her neck and ignored Ning Shu's apology. Sit down, quickly sit down and eat. Madame Zhao beckoned Ning Shu to sit down. Then she kept putting food into Ning Shu's bowl. Madame Zhao gave Zhao Ling'er a meaningful glance. Zhao Ling'er unwillingly put a fish head without meat into Ning Shu's bowl. Madame Zhao glared at Zhao Ling'er. Zhao Ling'er proudly said to Ning Shu, Cousin, eat the fish head. It's the most nutritious. Ning Shu glanced at Zhao Ling'er. He picked up the fish head and threw it on the table. I hate eating fish heads the most in my life. Ling'er. Zhao Bo looked at Zhao Ling'er with unusual dignity. What's wrong with you? Ning Shu immediately said. Uncle, it's my fault. I will learn to control my temper in the future. Sometimes I get used to it and my brain doesn't adjust. Eat. After eating, come to my study. I have something to tell you, said Zhao Bo. Ning Shu grunted and picked up the food. Almost half of the dishes on the table were eaten by Ning Shu. Zhao Ling'er muttered softly, Rice bucket. Ning Shu ignored her and followed Zhao Bo to the study. Mei Wu followed them and followed Ning Shu closely. Let your friend wait outside. Zhao Bo glanced at Mei Wu and said to Ning Shu. Ning Shu turned to Mei Wu and said, Go eat. This isn't the demon sect. I'm fine. Mei Wu looked at Ning Shu and didn't say anything. Ning Shu glared at him and said, Go. Mei Wu turned and left. Ning Shu helplessly spread out his hands. He's just a little crazy. When we first arrived at the Holy Devil sect, he was bullied. I helped him and he's been following me ever since. It's good to have someone like him by your side. It's much more convenient to have someone running errands for you, said Zhao Bo carelessly. Chapter 1131. Zhao Bo closed the door of the study. Ning Shu said, You've been in the demon sect for so many years. You should be familiar with the terrain and traps there. Yes, I usually pay attention to the terrain. Ning Shu nodded. Zhao Bo pondered for a moment and said, The devil cult's things have been taken away by you, so they must be unwilling to accept it. We have to take advantage of the fact that the devil cult hasn't reacted yet, and wipe them out in one fell swoop. We have to do our part for the world. Ning Shu nodded. I'll listen to you. Moreover, there will be a new Wulin general election in a year's time. I hope that you can become the next Wulin Alliance chief. If you lead the team and gather the righteous sects to attack, you will have the chance to become the next Wulin Alliance chief with the Zhao family fort's reputation. I have no objections. I'll listen to you. Ning Shu agreed. This was why Ning Shu wanted to kill Qi directly. Even if Qi did not get the martial arts secret manual and escaped, he could gather people and attack Saint Devil Peak. It was the same to destroy the demon sect, and then slowly look for the secret manual. Anyway, there was no loss. As the main character, Qi would succeed in everything he did. There would be endless trouble in the future if he let the tiger return to the mountain. Zhao Bo wanted to attack the demon sect so soon because he was afraid that the demon sect would spread the news of the secret manual and make the Zhao family fort a target. Secondly, he wanted to establish absolute prestige and meritorious service among the various sections. For the martial arts world election, even if he could not be the chief of the martial arts world, He wanted the Zhao family fort to have another one. The title of chief of the martial arts world was too important for the development of the Zhao family fort. The chief of the martial arts world could command the Jianghu and integrate resources. What's more, he wanted Ningxu to hand over the item. Ningxu nodded. When will you gather the righteous sects? I'll start sending letters to the leaders of the various sects as soon as I return. Soon these people will gather to attack the demon sect. Xiaobo said. When the time comes, you will lead these people to attack the demon sect and show your face in front of the various sections. Ningxu nodded. I'll follow Uncle's arrangements. It was no wonder that Qi Yi had wanted to attack the demonic sect even after he had obtained the secret manual. It was because he needed meritorious service, as well as the prestige and capital to become the chief of the martial arts world. Also, he had to erase the fact that he had once stayed in the demonic sect. Xiaobo looked at Ningxu. Ningxu immediately said, I will not disappoint Uncle. I will destroy the demonic sect. Xiaobo nodded his head, and then instructed. Now that you have already left the Holy Devil cult, you can't act like the Holy Devil cult. Remember to be humble and courteous. Although I am the Martial Arts Alliance Master, there are still many highly respected seniors in the martial arts world. You must not offend these people, understand? Ningxu nodded. Your nephew will remember. I will definitely adjust my emotions. Weren't you poisoned before? This time, there will be people from the Immortal Medicine Valley coming over. Let them take a look at you. Xiaobo said with concern. Ningxu's face revealed a happy expression. When will the people from the Immortal Medicine Valley arrive? I don't know if I can still grow taller after the poison is cured. The Valley Master of the Immortal Medicine Valley has the highest medical skills, but he doesn't leave the valley easily. Xiaobo sighed. I will try my best to invite them for you. Thank you, Uncle. Oh right, I should give you the thing. Ningxu seemed to have just remembered the secret manual. Zhao Su's face revealed a trace of eagerness, but this emotion only flashed for a moment. He was very calm. Uncle, your nephew will take his leave first. Ningxu cupped his hands and left the study. After returning to his room, Ningxu took out the secret manual and went to the study to give it to Xiaobo. Xiaobo took the secret manual and looked at it eagerly. He flipped through the pages one by one. Uncle, take a look. This is what your nephew got from the Devil Sect Master Yi Hua's sister, Hong Yi. Your nephew used a little trick and let Hong Yi steal the secret manual. Ningxu said proudly. Very good. Don't tell anyone about this. Xiaobo kept the secret manual. Have a good rest. In the next few days, all the sects and clans will gather together. At that time, you will have to lead these people. Ningxu nodded. Understood. Ningxu walked out of the study and glanced at the study door. He sneered in his heart. Without spiritual roots, it would be a waste of effort to cultivate. Moreover, although this secret manual was 90% real, and there might be spiritual roots, cultivating it might lead to qi deviation. Ningxu went back to his room. Suddenly, a figure jumped out from the rockery. It seemed to want to scare Ningxu and even let out a strange cry. Ningxu kicked the person who suddenly appeared and fell to the ground with a plop. Zhao Ling, was kicked away by Ningxu. She couldn't get up from the ground and blood flowed out from the corner of her mouth. Cough, cough, cough. It's you. Zhao Ling, was in so much pain that her face was wrinkled. Aling, why is it you? I thought it was an assassin. Ningxu walked over to Zhao Ling, and stretched out his hand to pull her. Get lost. Zhao Ling pointed at Ningxu. Junior sister. A disciple of Zhao Castle came over and saw Zhao Ling, lying on the ground. They quickly rushed over to help her up. Junior sister, how are you? The surrounding disciples asked Zhao Ling, with concern. Previously, no one comforted Zhao Ling, so she didn't cry. Now that someone comforted her, Zhao Ling felt wronged and cried out. In Zhao Castle, who dared to treat her like this? Zhao Ling felt wronged. Qi, how can you bully junior sister? A man bullying a woman is despicable. A disciple said. This disciple was in the small town to help Ningxu. Senior brother, can you help me beat him up? He's too much. Zhao Ling, pointed at Ningxu and said angrily. Then senior brother Chi, I'm sorry. Let's exchange a few moves. Junior sister is protected by all the Zhao Castle brothers. A disciple pulled out his sword. Senior brother Chi, please exchange a few moves with me. Ningxu glanced at Zhao Ling, who was wiping her tears, and looked at Ningxu proudly through the gaps between her fingers. She was eccentric and smart. Ningxu turned around and left. He couldn't be bothered to quarrel with these people. Are you admitting defeat? Zhao Ling put her hands on her waist. However, she was indeed in pain from Ningxu's kick. She felt pain in her chest and abdomen after saying a few words. What are you guys doing here? Zhao Bo came out from the study and saw a group of people gathered together. He said sternly, do you think you're number one in the world and don't need to practice martial arts? Master. The disciples cupped their fists and bowed. Ningxu shouted, Uncle. Hearing Ningxu's greeting, the disciples were stunned and looked at Ningxu. Zhao Bo smiled and said, let me introduce you guys. This is Zhao Yi, a member of Zhao Castle. From now on, you guys are of the same generation. Father, he hit me. He attacked me for no reason and made me bleed. Zhao Ling stomped her feet and complained to her father. Chapter 1132. Zhao Ling was smart and eccentric. She had a lot of ideas and was also pretty. In Zhao Castle, she was someone no one dared to offend. Normal people couldn't handle her. Zhao Ling purposely showed the blood at the corner of her mouth. Zhao Bo's scolding had a hint of heartache. How did this happen? It was him who kicked me. Without asking why, he kicked me so heavily. Zhao Ling clutched her chest and frowned, looking extremely uncomfortable. This disciple can testify. At that time, junior sister couldn't even get up from the ground. It was this disciple who helped her up. A disciple said. Zhao Bo looked at Ningxu. Ningxu had an apologetic expression. At that time Ling suddenly jumped out. I thought it was an assassin. My body was faster than my head, so I attacked first. If I knew it was my cousin, I wouldn't have attacked. This is a misunderstanding. In the future, talk nicely with your cousin. He just came back and doesn't know your personality. Okay, go get some medicine from your mother. Zhao Bo said to Zhao Ling. Zhao Ling looked at her father in disbelief and unwillingly shouted, Father, I'm injured. Father, you don't love me anymore. Zhao Ling was really sad now. She ran away in tears. The group of senior brothers called their junior sisters and chased after Zhao Ling. Ningxu said, do you want nephew to apologize to sister Ling? After all, I was too rude and couldn't control myself. It's not your fault. After all, you've been living in the dangerous demon sect. This daughter of mine has been spoiled by me. When the time comes, I don't know if her husband will be tolerant. Zhao Bo couldn't help but shake his head. Ningxu said, Linger is so cute. She'll definitely find a handsome young man to entrust her life to. Zhao Ling was lively and cute in a nice way, but in a bad way, she was unruly and willful. Ningxu wouldn't spoil her. The next time he bumped into her muzzle, he wouldn't have any scruples. Who told her to live in the demon sect for so many years? It was normal for her to be moody. She probably suffered a loss at Ningxu's hands. She was angry and wanted to get back at him. Zhao Ling teamed up with the other disciples to mess with Ningxu every day, wanting to see Ningxu break down and cry. Ningxu directly settled it with violence, and every time, he would make Zhao Ling suffer a bit without leaving a trace. Zhao Ling hated Ningxu so much that she wished she could kill Ningxu. They had formed a huge grudge. Ningxu was more concerned about the gathering of the martial arts world. In the past few days, various sects and clans had arrived at the Zhao Castle one after another. Ningxu was simply speechless toward Zhao Ling. Even at this time, she still brought a group of disciples to cause trouble. Ningxu was very tired of Zhao Ling's childish pranks, so he reminded Zhao Bo, who then let Zhao Ling embroider in the room. How could Zhao Ling know how to embroider? She hated Ningxu even more. With the arrival of various sects and clans, the Zhao Castle became lively. Many sects and clans gathered together, and the clothes of each sect were colorful. Ningxu even saw some bald heads. These monks who were vegetarian and reciting Buddhist scriptures had all come to join in the fun. Every night, The sound of roof tiles could be heard, and wave after wave of people stepped on them. It seemed like they had heard the rumor. Ning Shu released the news of the origin returning sacred art, but he didn't release much useful information. He just said that the demon sect had lost something good, and was now looking for it all over the world. Moreover, someone had betrayed them and stolen it. There were also some rumors that someone had seen the thief heading towards the Zhao Castle. The demon sect's people had also been lingering around the Zhao Castle. When Zhao Bo heard this, he smashed a thick wooden table to pieces. No wonder those old bald donkeys ran over. They usually eat vegetarian and recite Buddhist scriptures with a benevolent appearance. They don't do things like killing people and want to save the world. Zhao Bo said with a frown. It wasn't just the monks who didn't do anything but wanted benefits. Some small sects and clans also ran over, saying that they wanted to get rid of the demon sect. However, these small sects and clans could only sleep around the Zhao Castle because there weren't that many rooms. These small sects and clans even muttered that the Wulin Alliance master was stingy and wouldn't let them in. They didn't even give them a bite to eat. Although Zhao Bo was angry, he felt that he had self-restraint and didn't argue with these people. How did this news get out? Zhao Bo frowned. Ning Shu said in a low voice, "It must be those thieves from the demon sect. Maybe it was spread by the people of the Zhao Castle. I used the alias of Qi Yi in the demon sect. Someone in the Zhao Castle knows that my name is Qi Yi." These people probably suspected that the item was in the Zhao Castle and ran over. "Uncle, what should we do now?" Ning Shu asked Zhao Bo. "What if these people join forces and ask us for the secret manual?" Zhao Bo's expression was indifferent. "They don't want the item. Just give them some information. Benefits alone won't do. When the time comes, I'll bring you in front of them. Tell them this." Zhao Bo said to Ning Shu. Ning Shu agreed. "Uncle's idea is still the best." Old Fox. At night, Ning Shu stuffed a book into Mei Wu's hands. Mei Wu took the book and read it. "Why are you giving it to me?" "I have a plan. Do you want to hear it?" Ning Shu asked. Mei Wu shook his head. "No. These people have gathered together to attack our sect. We should leave the Zhao Castle now." "Don't tell me you want to bring these people to attack the Saint Devil Peak." Ning Shu said indifferently. "How is that possible? I have a plan." "Why are you giving me a lousy book?" Mei Wu asked. "I think we should leave this place now and inform the sect." "What's the point? We can just stay here and have fun," Ning Shu said unhappily. "Let me tell you, if you do this tomorrow." Mei Wu stared at Ning Shu. "I don't agree. There are so many people here. You want me to die? You don't have good intentions. You're just afraid that I'll keep an eye on you." "I don't agree with your plan. I want to stay alive to protect Mrs. Body." Mei Wu stared at Ning Shu viciously. "I didn't ask you to die. I just want you to cooperate with me. Everything I do is for the Saint Devil cult," Ning Shu said. Mei Wu shook his head. Ning Shu wasn't angry at Mei Wu's rejection. She and Mei Wu were strangers. After all, she wasn't the original owner. It was normal that Mei Wu didn't listen to her. Since Mei Wu didn't want to cooperate with her, Ning Shu could only find another way. She had to make these people fight. The original owner's tragedy was planned by Zhao Bo and Qi Yi. This time, the Zhao Castle would be the battlefield. Ning Shu put the book in her arms and left the room. Mei Wu stopped Ning Shu and asked, "Where are you going?" "I can't sleep. I'm going to find a place to take a walk," Ning Shu said indifferently. "You can't do anything dangerous. This is Mrs. Body." Mei Wu blocked the door. Ning Shu stared at Mei Wu without saying a word. Mei Wu felt uncomfortable under Ning Shu's stare. No matter what, you can't risk Mrs. Body. Chapter 1133. To be honest, it was annoying to listen to Mei Wu's nagging every day. She couldn't do anything smoothly. She wasn't the original owner of this body. Mei Wu was the original owner of this body. She really wanted to get rid of this person. "I'm not going anywhere. I just ate too much at night. I'm going for a walk. You don't have to follow me. Just wait for me in the house." Ning Shu pointed at Mei Wu. "Don't follow me." Ning Shu wandered around Zhao Castle. Because there were many people, there were always people walking around in the courtyard. Ningshu hid behind the rockery and threw the Plum Blossom Villa's Plum Blossom dart at the Bright Flower Sect's disciple's butt. He threw the Bright Flower Sect's disciple's sword into the Wuxia sect's house. Along the way, he stepped into the house where the monks were staying. He took out the secret manual from his bosom and threw it into the courtyard. They were all martial artists and were very alert to any movement. When the monks went out, they saw a figure trying to pick up something on the ground. But when someone came out, the figure disappeared in a flash. The monk picked up the secret manual on the ground. When he saw that it was a secret manual, he hurriedly put it away. Because Ningshu was fishing in troubled waters, the entire Zhao castle was in an uproar. There were sounds of swords and sabers clashing, and people were cursing as they fought. Why did you throw the plum blossom dart? You even stuck it in his butt. The Bright Flower Sect's disciple was flustered and exasperated. My junior brother is still bleeding. You deliberately provoked him. The Plum Blossom Villa's disciple immediately retorted. Who shot the dart? You even smelled my dart. People of the pugilistic world fought whenever there was a disagreement. It was impossible for there to be no grudges between these sections. I said that you did it, and the evidence is conclusive. You actually dare to refute me? Anyway, they fought noisily. When people fought, there would naturally be people trying to calm them down. It was very normal for people to be accidentally injured in the chaos. Fuck, who hit me? Stop fighting. These sects were actually fighting for themselves. With so many sects mixed together, there was no harmony between the righteous sections. There was no filthy discord. In the end, it became a mess. The trees, stone tables, and flower pots in the courtyard were all attacked. It was a complete mess. When their adrenaline was running high, they didn't care about anything else. If they couldn't win, they would look for helpers. Everyone happily joined the slashing team. Ningshu hid to the side, avoiding the flower pots and darts that were thrown at him, and went to find Xiaobo. Xiaobo was hurrying over. When Ningshu saw Xiaobo, he immediately said, "Uncle, these people are going to cause trouble." Xiaobo's face was ashen. Seeing the chaos and the weapons flying around, he roared, "All of you stop." Although Xiaobo was the Wulian Alliance's alliance master, everyone was scared out of their wits. When Xiaobo shouted, these people simply ignored him. Xiaobo was stunned. He stretched out his hand and separated these people who were fighting inseparably. One by one they were sent flying. "Stop it!" Xiaobo bellowed loudly in his dantian. His voice was so deep and powerful that it was almost unbearable to the ear. Everyone covered their ears and finally quieted down. "Who can tell me what's going on?" Xiaobo said coldly. This destruction was all his home. "Alliance Master, it's all because of the Plum Blossom Villa's bullying." A disciple said, "Nonsense, don't try to frame people. Our Plum Blossom Villa's people shoot at the vital points. Only those who eat too much will shoot at people's butts. A warrior can be killed but not humiliated. You are deliberately humiliating people." The scene was noisy. One after another, it was even more lively than a market. They all complained to Xiaobo. Xiaobo's face was calm as he stared at these people expressionlessly. These were all fights between the younger generation. After a while, the people in charge of the various sects came and saw their own disciples' pig heads. When they saw the mess around them, they all apologized to Xiaobo, saying that they were not strict enough in their discipline. Xiaobo's expression became more and more calm. He only said indifferently, "The various sects have to take good care of their disciples. If we really go to exterminate the demon sect, who will be responsible if something happens? Don't even talk about exterminating the demon sect. This is simply throwing away the face of the righteous sections. We haven't even attacked the demon sect, and we are already fighting with our own people. If you can't stay in my Zhao family fortress, then leave." Xiaobo's voice was low and his aura was so strong that it shocked everyone present. "Alliance Master, please forgive us. We will definitely discipline our disciples well." The people in charge of the various sects all said to Xiaobo, anyone who saw their own home being destroyed by others would be furious. Ningshu saw that Xiaobo's hands behind his back were clenched into fists. If it wasn't for the big picture, Xiaobo was probably going to beat these people up to vent his anger. "I gave you food to eat, I gave you a place to stay, but you still want to destroy the house." Xiaobo coldly snorted. His displeasure was obvious in his words as he turned around and left. Ningxu followed. The various sects took their disciples and left. They were disappointed that Zhao Bo didn't go far. They beat and scolded the disciples who caused trouble. They did it on purpose for Zhao Bo to see. After walking for a while, it was almost midnight and the dew was heavy. It was also a little cold. Zhao Bo stopped inside. He raised his head and looked at the sky. Or you saw it too. These people are like a plate of loose sand. They only have small benefits in their minds. If the entire Jianghu is united and unified, we won't be held hostage like this. Zhao Bo shook his head and said. Ningxu raised his eyebrows. This old Zhao had such a huge ambition to unify the Jianghu. It was a little unrealistic to merge all the sects together. It would take a lot of effort to gather people with different habits and different inheritances. The organization would be huge and complicated. When the time came, who knew what it would be like? What was he trying to do by unifying the Jianghu? Was he trying to rebel? Would the imperial court agree? The Jianghu being in chaos was what the imperial court wanted to see. The people of the Jianghu were all fish in a pond. No one could jump out of this pond. They longed to jump out, but jumping out meant death. Ningxu pondered for a moment and said, Uncle, do you have such an expectation? Zhao Bo clenched his fist. Let's start with the Holy Devil cult. Use these people to deal with the Holy Devil cult first. We will slowly plan in the future. After the Holy Devil cult is dealt with, it will be the martial arts world election. My chances of being re-elected are not high, so I hope you can be elected as the martial arts world's chief. Zhao Bo said Ningxu. Ningxu nodded. Nephew will remember. To unify the Jianghu, only an idiot would do such a laborious and thankless task. Moreover, he would be resisted by the various sections. In the end, he couldn't escape the curse of being separated for a long time, and separated for a long time. It was as if he had nothing better to do. This way, the situation where the various sects restrained each other was the best. Ningxu said, It's useless to unify those people. It doesn't matter if it's useless. The most important thing is to be obedient and have people respond when you call for help. Chapter 1134. If he raised his arms and called for help, tens of thousands of people would respond, and the imperial court would come to exterminate the rebels. Qi might be able to fulfill Zhao Bo's ambition. As the main character, he would definitely have a secret manual to cultivate his constitution. If Qi had really cultivated the secret manual, even if it was a relatively crude cultivation technique, Qi would have entered a whole new level. He would be different from ordinary people in the pugilistic world. Perhaps Qi could really unify the pugilistic world, go against the imperial court, and become the emperor. Then he would become a god and immortal before ascending and killing people in another world. This is actually an inspirational drama for the male lead. The original host is just a stepping stone. Ningxu was once again glad that he had killed Qi. A person like Qi would have had a fortuitous encounter even if he did not obtain the Holy Guyuan technique. For example, he might have eaten some heavenly treasure that could increase his internal energy by 60 years. You have to bring these people to attack the demonic sect quickly. If we drag this out, the demonic sect will sense it. Speed is the most important thing in war, Zhao Bo said. Ningxu hummed in acknowledgement. I understand. It seemed that Zhao Bo was also tired of these freeloaders who caused trouble. Ningxu put his hands behind his back and slowly returned to his room. Mei Wu hugged his sword and waited for Ningxu. He glanced at Ningxu but did not say a word. Ningxu could not be bothered with him. He sat cross-legged on the bed and started cultivating. Mei Wu stood guard outside the door. He hugged his sword and did not move at all. The next day, Zhao Bo gathered everyone in the square. The sects were clearly divided. Ningxu stood among the Zhao family fort's team below the stage, and looked at Zhao Bo who was on the stage. Chief. Everyone cupped their fists and bowed. Zhao Bo did the same. The demonic sect's evildoers kill without reason and harm the innocent. They even rob the commoners of their wealth. As a member of the righteous path, we cannot watch the demonic sect's evildoers kill and steal. Eradicate the demonic sect and enforce justice on behalf of the heavens. eradicate the demonic sect, and enforce justice on behalf of the heavens. The crowd began to yell. Ningxu also raised his arm and shouted. He snorted in his heart. He wouldn't do something that didn't benefit him. He said that he wanted to enforce justice on behalf of the heavens, but to put it bluntly, he valued the wealth of the demonic sect. The world is bustling with activity for profit, and the world is clamoring for profit. After a fight, they would definitely have to split the spoils. Actually, people's hearts were all the same. After the morale was boosted, a monk stood up and said, Ba, Benefactor Zhao, our Wuyu temple does not wish to participate in this operation. Hui Kong's master is also from a righteous sect. Wuyu temple is the leader among the righteous sections. I hope that Wuyu temple can contribute some strength to eliminating demons and defending the righteous path. Zhao Bo's expression was a little ugly. This time, he had just finished mobilizing, and someone had already appeared to slap him in the face. It made Zhao Bo want to pinch these monks to death. The veins on Zhao Bo's forehead bulged. Since Master Hui Kong does not wish to contribute to the common people of the world, then why did you come? Master, haven't you heard that eliminating evil is also for the sake of kindness, to prevent more people from falling into the hands of the demonic sect? Ba, lay down the butcher's knife and become a Buddha. Benefactor Zhao, please don't blame us. Wuyu Temple is a place of Buddhism that transcends all living beings. This kind of killing is indeed difficult for Wuyu Temple. I will take my leave now. Hui Kong brought the monks of Wuyu Temple, and was about to leave. Ningxu's lips curled up. He was afraid that the monks of Wuyu Temple had obtained the secret manual, and didn't want to participate in this matter anymore. They wanted to leave in a hurry. If people found out that Wuyu Temple had the secret manual, Wuyu Temple would become the target of public criticism. Hey, wait a minute. Ningxu flashed and blocked the group of monks. He crossed his arms and said rudely, Master Hui Kong, it's not very appropriate for you to leave just like that, right? Ba, Benefactor, monks pay attention to the clarity of their thoughts. We won't do this kind of thing that goes against our state of mind. Hui Kong was blocked by Ningxu and said calmly, just what is it that made everyone of Wuyu Temple leave in such a hurry? My uncle wants to get rid of the malignant tumor of the martial arts world this time. As a member of the martial arts world, masters should all do their part. Otherwise, everyone's respect for Master Hui Kong and Wuyu Temple would be in vain. Master Hui Kong frowned and finally shook his head helplessly. Benefactor, you are making things difficult for people. Ningxu sneered. Master Hui Kong, don't tell me you don't know what happened last night? The people of the demonic sect snuck into Zhao Castle, and even caused internal strife among the various sections. Master Hui Kong, if you really want to stand by and do nothing, you must understand the principle of being cold without lips. Monk Hui Kong didn't speak. However, it really wasn't good for him to leave in this kind of situation. Hui Kong could only stay. If he really left, then such a righteous sect wouldn't have a good impression of Wuyu Temple. Living in the same pond, they either fought or helped each other. Ningxu said with a smile. That's right. Since the people of the demonic sect are bullying us, we must fight back. Was it the demonic sect that did it last night? Are the people of the demonic sect really around? Then do the people of the demonic sect know that we are going to attack the demonic sect? Zhao Bo pressed his hand down. Quiet, quiet. Those are just the small tricks of the demonic sect. They want to disturb our hearts. This is my nephew, Zhang Xian said. Zhao Bo stretched out his hand towards Ningxu. He hid in the demonic sect for several years when he was 12 years old. He knows everything about the demonic sect. This time, we will definitely be able to wipe out the demonic sect. Everyone didn't care about Ningxu. Clearly, they had other things on their minds. Alliance Master Zhao, I heard that the Gui Yuan sacred technique is in the Zhao family fort. If we have the Gui Yuan sacred technique, won't our chances of winning be higher? A person said without hesitation. When the others saw that someone finally said it, they all agreed. Yes, Alliance Master Zhao. This Gui Yuan sacred technique can't be taken by the Zhao family fort alone. This time, the people who came to attend the martial arts assembly all had the heart to get the secret technique. Even if they couldn't get it, they still wanted to take a look. The previous soul-stirring atmosphere of the mobilization meeting dissipated in an instant. Now the only thing on their minds was to ask Xiaobo for the secret manual. They even said that they wanted to improve their strength to better deal with the demonic sect. What a joke. Was the secret technique so easy to cultivate? They were just looking for a reason. If it was something else, these people wouldn't be so unsightly. But this was something that could have great power. It could become an immortal, move mountains and fill seas. Everyone wanted such a powerful force. So many people were pressuring Xiaobo. The law couldn't punish the majority. They were forcing Xiaobo to hand over the secret technique. The title of Alliance Master seemed to be high and mighty. But when it concerned his own interests, he didn't recognize any Alliance Master. Xiaobo's face was hideous and embarrassed for a moment. Ningxu said coldly, "What evidence do you have that the Gui Yuan sacred technique is in our Zhao family fort?" Chapter 1135. If the Guthyuan sacred art isn't in Zhao Castle, why are the demonic sect members around? Last night, the demonic sect members must have wanted to cause chaos and steal the secret manual. Master Hui Kong of the Wuyo Temple heard this and his eyes flickered. Everyone chimed in and listed all kinds of evidence to prove that the Guthyuan sacred art was in Zhao Castle. Xiaobo whispered to Ningxu, "This is why I want to unify the Jianghu. These people. Leader Zhao, I hope you can hand over the Guthyuan sacred art and benefit the righteous path. This will be a blessing for the righteous path." Xiaobo said without changing his expression, "The secret manual isn't in Zhao Castle. This is the demonic sect's trick. They want us to kill each other. We haven't even attacked the demonic sect, and they're already in chaos." Leader Zhao, the entire Jianghu has spread the news that the demonic sect members are looking for the secret manual. And the secret manual was stolen by a traitor. This person is your nephew, right? Xiaobo stared at the person who spoke. He was the leader of the Wuji sect. "Elderly, you have to have proof. I sent Ear to the demonic sect to hide. Not long ago, the demonic sect members saw through him and he escaped. The demonic sect framed Ear for stealing," Xiaobo said indifferently. "Elderly, do you have any objections?" "I don't have any objections, but there's no smoke without fire. The secret manual must be in Zhao Castle," Elderly of the Wuji sect said. "Yes, there's no smoke without fire." Everyone started to make a fuss. Previously they said they were going to attack the demonic sect. Ningxu moved his neck, making cracking sounds. "What's the fuss about?" Ningxu flew down the high platform and attacked Elderly of the Wuji sect. Elderly dodged Ningxu's fist. "My uncle is talking. Who are you to interrupt?" Ningxu's fist smashed into Elderly's chest. Elderly immediately retreated 2 steps and spat out a mouthful of blood. The disciples of the Wuji sect immediately surrounded Ningxu. When Mei Wu saw Ningxu being surrounded, he used his qinggong and jumped into the encirclement, standing back to back with Ningxu. "What do you mean?" Elderly of the Wuji sect stared at Ningxu. Despite his young age, Ningxu was bleeding from a single punch. Ningxu raised his chin. "My uncle is the Wulin Alliance leader. Since when is it your turn to interrupt? Even if the item is in my uncle's hands, it belongs to him. What right do you have to ask my uncle to hand it over? This is for the common people of the world," Elderly said matter-of-factly. "I don't care about the common people of the world, you shameless thing." Ningxu clenched his fists. Together with Mei Wu, they defeated the Wuji sect's people. Ningxu kicked Elderly in the stomach, sending him flying. "Zhaoyi, stop." Xiaobo shouted to Ningxu. "Uncle, these people are just asking to be taught a lesson. They really think they're so great. Just teach them a lesson." Ningxu cracked her knuckles, and the sound of cracking could be heard. "Umitba. Benefactor's hostility is too strong. Fighting and killing won't solve the problem. It will only hurt the harmony," Master Huikong said, shaking his head. Ningxu stared at Monk Huikong and sneered. "What's the point of being a peacemaker? Why didn't you persuade the Wuji sect's people just now?" "Benefactor's thoughts are extreme. It's easy for him to go berserk," Master Huikong said to Ningxu. Ningxu stretched his neck. "It's precisely because he's extreme that he needs to vent his emotions." Ning Shu clenched his fists and attacked Monk Huikong. Master Huikong is a person of virtue and prestige. Don't be rude, Xiaobo said symbolically. After all, Xiaobo was also dissatisfied with this monk. Ning Shu attacked Monk Huikong without holding back. He bent his fingers and grabbed Monk Huikong's chest, grabbing Monk Huikong's kasaya. Monk Huikong blocked Ning Shu. Ning Shu's other hand grabbed Monk Huikong's chest. He didn't feel anything like a book. Last night it was clearly her who threw the secret book at Wuyu Temple's residence. Ning Shu didn't attack Monk Huikong anymore. Instead, he attacked Wuyu Temple's monks. In the end, he grabbed a book from a small monk's cloth bag. Please return it to me. This small monk had red lips and white teeth. His features were clear and bright. It was hard to imagine that a monk could be this good-looking. Ning Shu picked up the cloth bag. I'm not returning it to you. Huiji, are you okay? Master Huikong hurriedly asked the small monk with concern. Monk Huikong always had the appearance of a monk who was calm and unaffected by external matters. However, he cared a lot about this small monk. Little monk Huiji shook his head. Xixiang, I'm fine. Huiji looked at Ning Shu with a pair of clear eyes. He gave off a very noble feeling. Ning Shu couldn't help but feel ashamed of his inferiority. Benefactor, can you return this to me? Little monk Huiji clasped his hands together and bowed. Ning Shu asked. Ning Shu said nastily, looking at your appearance, you care a lot about this thing. Let me see what's inside. Ning Shu bared his teeth. Monk Huikong helplessly shook his head. Little monk Huiji said, Benefactor, please return this to me. I promised Alliance head Zhao to go on a punitive expedition against the devil sect. Ning Shu shrugged his shoulders. It doesn't matter. It's just that my uncle is kind. With me leading the way, Zhao Castle can eliminate the devil sect. There's no need for so many people. Ning Shu opened the cloth bag and took out a book. The name was Mahaprajna Pineapple Heart Sutra. This was the Buddhist scripture Prajna Heart Sutra. Ning Shu was speechless. Was this the book she threw last night? This was a bit awkward. Ning Shu looked at little monk Huiji. This little monk had delicate features, but he didn't have a bit of femininity. He also didn't have a bit of worldly aura. Benefactor, please return this thing to me. Huiji bowed and said calmly, enough fooling around. Return this thing to little Master Huiji. Ning Shu said, if they didn't find anything on the monks of Wuyu Temple, then why did they leave in such a hurry? Ning Shu handed the yellow cloth bag to little monk Huiji. Even Xiaobo had to call Huiji little master. This little monk must have something special about him. Huiji, could it be that this guy is very smart? Could it be that he saw something? Or could it be that he saw that the secret manual was fake? Ning Shu's mind flashed with all kinds of thoughts as he stared at little monk Huiji. Huiji took the cloth bag with both hands and strapped it over his body. Little monk Huiji raised his head and met Ning Shu's gaze. He bowed and said, Benefactor, if revenge breeds revenge, will there ever be an end to it? Why don't you let it go? Benefactor has a lot of inner demons. These inner demons will devour Benefactor sooner or later. Little monk Huiji looked at Ning Shu and said, if one's heart is filled with resentment, the world will be hell in the eyes of Benefactor. Chapter 1136. Ning Shu smiled. The world in her eyes was really hell. People who struggled in hell gave up their souls to break free from their destinies. If one was happy, who would give up their soul? Only when one was living a miserable life would one want to exchange for the most valuable thing. What if I can't let it go? If the heavens are unfair, then I can only kill to stop killing and use violence to stop violence. Ning Shu said. Huiji said Ba. The heavens are clear. Everyone has their own life path. We will follow this path to the end of our lives. Oh, so the heavens gave you the fate of becoming a monk? Ning Shu stared at the little monk. Ning Shu and Huiji chatted here. Xiaobo told everyone to scram. Since you aren't willing to fight the demon sect, then leave. Xiaobo chased these people away, but they weren't willing to leave even if he chased them away. After all, they didn't get the origin returning saint technique that they wanted. Thus, the righteous sects camped near Zhao family castle. It was obvious that they were certain that the thing was in Zhao family castle. Zhao Bo was so furious that he was about to have a brain hemorrhage. He wanted to rely on these people to fight the demon sect, but now they were fighting over a technique. Zhao Bo placed his hands behind his back and clenched his fists. He had to quickly cultivate the origin returning saint technique. Only then would he be able to shock these people. Ningxu was still discussing fate with Huiji. At this point, Ningxu was certain that this little novice monk had seen through the deception, which was why he wanted to leave Zhao family castle. Little monk, Huiji will be injured. Your master is right to give you this name, Ningxu said. Ba. Huiji bowed. Thank you, benefactor, for your praise. Then this little monk will take his leave, senior brothers, Huiji said. Little monk, didn't you promise my uncle that you would help us attack the devil sect? Monks don't lie. Ningxu stared sharply at Huiji. Benefactor Zhao has already asked everyone to leave the Zhao family fort. So this humble monk is not lying, Huiji said in a neither servile nor overbearing manner. The corners of Ningxu's mouth twitched. Huiji then said to Ningxu, Benefactor's inner demons will harm you sooner or later. Ningxu didn't care and said, Little monk, you keep saying that I have a heart devil. What heart devil do I have? Heavy hostility, heavy heart, heavy soul, heavy killing, Huiji said. You're right. You seek eternal life in the world of light. I seek light in the world of darkness. You have paradise, but I live in hell. What I see is different from what you see. Ningxu looked at his hands. His hands were really stained with blood. But so what? Ba, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva is still in hell. This has nothing to do with where you are, Huiji retorted. Little Master Huiji, my master invites you. A disciple of the Zhao family fort came over and said to Huiji, Okay. Little Master Huiji followed the disciple. Ningxu narrowed his eyes. Why was Zhao Bo looking for Huiji? What's the identity of this little monk? Ningxu asked a disciple of the Zhao family fort. Little Master Huiji's dharma is profound and his attainments are extremely high. He is the most intelligent person in the Wuyu temple in the past 100 years. The dharma was profound, but he had read 2 more Buddhist scriptures and said some specious words. Moreover, Little Master Huiji can deduce all the martial arts in the world. Ningxu, fuck, her fake secret manual must have been discovered. This little bastard is cheating. This is the real male lead. Then Zhao Bo was looking for Huiji to deduce the Gui Yuan sacred technique. She wanted to see how Huiji would deduce it. The Gui Yuan sacred technique was 90% correct. Only the key and minute parts were wrong. Ningxu went to the study room. There were several disciples guarding the door. They held scabbards in their hands and stopped Ningxu. Master has something to do and is not seeing anyone. Ningxu pushed the person in front of him away. You can't go in. Ningxu pushed open the door and walked in. Zhao Bo frowned and said unhappily, What are you doing? I heard that the little monk can deduce martial arts, so I came to take a look. Ningxu sat down. No rules. Look at what you have done today. A good morale-raising ceremony turned into this. Zhao Bo felt that he had lost all his face as the alliance leader. Uncle, these people are just a mob. We can't rely on them. Ningxu looked at Huiji. Huiji was holding a book in his hands. It was the Gui Yuan sacred technique. Even though he was holding something that everyone in the pugilistic world dreamed of, his eyes were calm. There was no greed in his clear eyes. His wisdom surpassed many people. He didn't have any greed when he saw a treasure. This was quite scary. Just like Ningxu. When he saw a treasure, he would definitely be excited and want it. It was human nature to chase after beautiful things and precious things. But Huiji was like this. TSK. Did you see anything? Ningxu asked Huiji. Huiji shook his head. I haven't seen anything yet. This secret manual is very complicated. According to my deduction, I haven't found anything wrong with it. Little monk, how much energy do you need to think every day? The temple is vegetarian. What nutrition can it give you? You are overdrafting your body, Ningxu said indifferently. He's a child, and he's still growing. Ningxu continued to blabber. Huiji's forehead was covered in sweat and his face was a little pale, probably because he was having a hard time thinking. Shut up. Don't disturb the little master. Xiaobo glared at Ningxu. Ningxu shrugged and didn't say anything. Huiji put down the secret manual. He looked a little tired. Benefactor Zhao, can you give me a few days? Sorry to trouble you, little master Huiji. Please stay in Zhao Castle. Xiaobo said. Huiji bowed and left the study. Ningxu stood up and said to Xiaobo, Uncle, why did you give him the secret manual? With his wisdom, I am afraid that he has already memorized these things. Huiji was a person with an extremely high IQ. Xiaobo said, It doesn't matter. There are not many people in this world who can deduce the secret manual. If this secret manual is fake, then I will have practiced it in vain. Maybe I will be possessed by the devil. In this way, the devil cult can easily injure me. Can you trust this little monk Huiji? I don't trust the other monks in Wuyu Temple, but I trust this Huiji. His Buddhist heart is firmer than any other monk. Xiaobo said. If you do something as reckless as today again, get out of Zhao Castle. How many times have I said it? Don't bring the demon sect's way of doing things here. This is not the demon sect. I know. Ningxu walked out of the study impatiently. When he saw the little monk Huiji, his heart was full of malice. His Buddhist heart was firm, but he didn't know how firm it was. Chapter 1137. Ningxu walked beside Huiji with her hands behind her back. She looked at Huiji from the corner of her eyes. From the side, this little monk looked really handsome. Without a hairstyle, he relied on his looks to stand out. Little monk. Huiji bowed. Female benefactor. Ningxu was speechless. She already had an Adam's apple and her period hadn't come for many years. How did this little bastard know? Benefactor, don't be surprised. Men and women are different. Appearances can't hide these differences. How many years have you been a monk? Huiji grew up in Wuyo Temple. How many books does Wuyo Temple have? 178 Buddhist scriptures, 37 Buddhist theories, 8 Buddhist laws, and countless martial arts in the world. Huiji replied seriously. Ningxu frowned and asked, How do you feel after reading so many scriptures? What is the foundation of Buddhism? Is it because all living beings are suffering? Do you believe in Buddhism and transcend the sea of suffering and reach the Western paradise? Ningxu stared at Huiji and asked. She wanted to cause trouble and challenge Huiji's Buddhist heart. Ningxu couldn't bear to hear the little monk say that there was no shore in the sea of suffering, and that it was better to turn back. She had to continue walking. Everyone was forced to turn back when it was easy to talk. Ba. Huiji performed a Buddhist salute. Do not do evil, do good, purify one's mind, this is Buddhism. Learn from Buddha and know yourself. You are restraining yourself. Huiji said. Ningxu waved her hands. Don't say such words. I don't understand. Have you eaten meat? No. All living beings have spirits. It is a sin to be greedy for food. Huiji replied seriously. Don't talk about evil. Just tell me if you want to eat it or not. Ningxu looked at the little monk Huiji with a smile. I'll treat you to roast duck, roast chicken, braised salted duck, soy sauce chicken, cured meat, pine flour, tripe, dried meat, sausages, assorted plate, smoked chicken, white tripe, steamed pig with 8 treasures, duck steamed with glutinous rice, rabbit breast, vegetable python, silver fish, braised duck kidney, braised duck strips, mixed shredded duck. As Ningxu spoke, he started to feel hungry. The little monk Huiji's expression was indifferent. Thank you, benefactor. This little monk doesn't eat these things. Ningxu was not discouraged. He had never tasted these things before, so he naturally did not know how delicious they were. What do you eat every day? Ningxu asked. Flagella winter mushrooms, winter bamboo shoots, vegetarian chicken, fresh mushrooms, golden needles, wood ear, ripe chestnuts, ginkgo, cauliflower, carrots, tofu, fresh vegetables, dried fruits. The little monk said. It doesn't mean that vegetables are not nutritious. Ningxu shrugged his shoulders. You said it yourself. All living beings in the world have spirits. When you eat these plants, you can feel the teeth of people chewing them. They are all evil. It is the same whether it is big or small. The little monk Huiji frowned and did not say anything. Do you know what pain is? Do you know what happiness is? Do you think that by chanting scriptures in the temple and knocking on the wooden fish, you can convert the world? This little monk was not old. His indifferent and mature appearance made him seem like an old man. Relying on the incense money from the pilgrims, and chanting some strange words to the pilgrims, you call that converting the world? Amitabha. The karma of the past is the result of one's actions. If there is a cause, then there is an effect. If you don't do evil, then there will be no retribution. Then why do you still believe in Buddhism? Ningxu tilted his head and looked at the little monk Huiji. Have you gone to the outside world to take a look? Is your goal to convert the world, or do you want to become Buddha? This little monk wants to convert the world, Ningxu said with a smile. If you want to convert the world, then you have to walk into the mortal world. Those who are struggling in the mortal world are the ones you should convert. Or are you afraid that if you enter the mortal world and get involved with the mortal world, you will be consigned to eternal damnation? Ningxu said calmly. Benefactor, are you angry about what happened last night, or what happened during the morale-raising ceremony? Is that why you want to destroy this little monk's faith? Huiji said calmly. TSK, you can tell. You are unhappy, very unhappy. Ningxu looked at the little monk. What is the meaning of living like this? Then what is the meaning of living like benefactor? Ningxu spread his hands. For me, living is the most important thing, just like how you want to convert the world. If you don't go to hell, how can you convert the world? Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva even went to hell. If hell is not empty, he will not become a Buddha. Ningxu said to Huiji in a serious tone. If I were you, I would go to the mortal world and walk around. What is the meaning of chanting Buddhist scriptures every day? The outside world is much more interesting than Buddhist scriptures. Amitabha, people are greedy for pleasure. When they go to the mortal world, what changes is their mind? Huiji ignored Ningxu's temptation. This little monk knows that there are too many things in the outside world. If your mind is corroded by the mortal world, how can you be considered an enlightened monk? What is the use of reading so many Buddhist scriptures? Ningxu said disdainfully. Don't forget your original intention. As the most intelligent monk in 100 years, you don't even understand this? Amitabha benefactor, you don't have to provoke this little monk. Even if this little monk can't convert the world, I will convert myself first. Huiji made a Buddhist bow and said lightly, to convert oneself, to know oneself. Doctors don't treat themselves. The most difficult thing in the world is to know oneself. Ningxu couldn't convince Huiji, and Huiji's theory didn't appeal to Ningxu. A monk who didn't worry about food and clothing said that he wanted to convert the world? Little monk, I can guarantee that you will never become a Buddha. You will. Your Buddha heart seems to be crystal clear and indestructible, but it's not even comparable to a stone. A stone that has been rolling in the world of mortals has its sharp edges smoothed out by bumps. No matter where it is, it will be able to remain calm. Ningxu thought, damn. It was really not easy to destroy a person's faith, but this kind of monk was a real monk. Persevering in one's own heart, not many people could do this. Thank you, benefactor, for your advice. Huiji will keep it in mind. Huiji made a Buddhist bow to Ningxu. Ningxu hammered his chest, feeling inexplicably stifled. Little monk, with your talent, you can do other things after renouncing asceticism. Your contribution to the world will be greater. It will be more useful than chanting sutras and knocking on wooden fish. Amitabha, Huiji is only outstanding because he read 2 more Buddhist sutras. Huiji has no other talent. Ningxu waved his hand, too lazy to talk to him. He turned and left. Benefactor. Ningxu waved his hand without looking back. Don't try to persuade me to repent. You can't say that what I do is wrong. Little monk, I have more merit than you. Damn, the feeling of showing off is really too good. Why did he try to persuade me to repent? If I can't convert him, I'll just cremate him. Teaching people to do good is merit. Don't forget that eliminating evil is also merit. Chapter 1138. Huiji returned to his temporary residence. Monk Huikong saw Huiji's tired face and hurriedly asked, Shitty, what's wrong? Nothing. Why did Alliance Head Zhao call you? Monk Huikong asked. Huiji shook his head. Nothing. Xixiang, you guys can leave first. I still have something to do. I want to beg for alms all the way to Mount Song to participate in the martial arts convention. Huiji said. Do you want to train? Monk Huikong said. You're still young, you definitely can't resist those temptations. You're very intelligent, but Xixiang doesn't want your Buddhist heart to be polluted. Once it's covered in dust, it won't be pure anymore. Monk Huikong didn't agree. If you don't go back with me, the abbot will definitely punish me. Xixiang, I'll definitely be fine. In at most half a year, I'll return to Wuyo Temple. You guys leave first. I'm afraid something big is going to happen. When the time comes, I'll ask Master for forgiveness. Huiji took out a piece of paper and wrote a full page of Buddhist scriptures on it. Xixiang, please give this to Master. Huiji, you're the hope of our Wuyo Temple's 100 years of prosperity. Don't waste your own future. Huiji said. Don't worry, Xixiang will take good care of myself. Sigh. Monk Huikong sighed and said Amitba. His expression was a bit worried. Clearly, he was worried about Huiji entering the world. However, under the urging of Huiji, Monk Huikong brought the monks and left Zhao Castle. Ningxu nibbled on a fruit and strolled around Zhao Castle. He saw Huiji send the monks of Wuyo Temple away. Ningxu casually walked over. Why didn't you go with them? Without adults by your side, it's easy for a delicate child like you to be kidnapped. Amitba. The little monk Huiji bowed solemnly. Benefactor, I feel that you are filled with malice towards me. Ningxu shrugged. Do I have one? I don't think so. No matter how ugly the world is, there are still many beautiful things. Huiji looked at Ningxu. Ningxu nodded repeatedly. I agree. Little monk, since your senior brothers have all left, I'll treat you to a meal. Let's make something together. Ningxu threw the fruit pit far away. Who is it? Who threw it? Who is so wicked? An exasperated voice sounded. Amitba. Thank you, benefactor. This little monk is a bit tired and needs to rest. Huiji politely rejected Ningxu's ill-intentioned invitation. Ningxu stretched out his finger. She was a little perverted. Why did she want to destroy beautiful and cute things? Forget it, he shouldn't tease this little monk. Perhaps this little monk could become a senior monk in the future and help people get rid of the confusion and helplessness in their hearts. Mei Wu asked Ningxu, Miss, do you like that monk? Ningxu was speechless. Mei Wu had such a strong taste. No, I don't like him. Ningxu shook his head. They each had their own beliefs and couldn't talk about the same thing. Besides, she had come and gone from so many worlds. She was at least 100 years old. How could she like a little kid? Once the mission was completed, he would leave this world. Ningxu didn't intend to build any relationship. Mei Wu didn't say anything and just followed Ningxu. At night, Ningxu put on his night clothes and sneaked into Xiaobo's study. He turned the vase on the shelf and triggered the mechanism. A hidden weapon flew towards Ningxu. Ningxu rolled on the ground to avoid the mechanism and grabbed the book in the hidden compartment. There's a thief and an assassin. Ningxu had just escaped from the study when the whole Zhao Castle was in an uproar. Many people came to Ningxu's side. Ningxu jumped over the wall and escaped from the Zhao Castle. He ran towards the sects stationed outside the Zhao Castle. Many people had noticed the situation at the Zhao family fort and were looking at it one after another. They wondered what had happened at the Zhao Castle. Many people couldn't help but think about the secret manual, Guthyuan Divine Skill. Ningxu repeated the same trick and threw the secret manual at the sections. Then he took off his night clothes and pretended to be chasing after the assassin. Ningxu greeted Xiaobo, Uncle, someone is causing trouble again. I saw a black shadow just now but lost it. These people from the devil sect are really persistent. Xiaobo glanced at Ningxu. His expression changed unpredictably under the light of the torch. People from the devil sect? Ningxu asked in surprise. It should be the people from the devil sect. Could it be that they still haven't given up on the secret manual? Ningxu thought for a while. Uncle, go and see if it's lost. It doesn't matter if it's lost. It's fake anyway. Ningxu was speechless. People started to like to fake things in this era. There was no trust between people. It's good that it's fake. These people from the devil sect went for wool and came home shorn. However, uncle, I don't think it's the people from the devil sect who did it. There's another person who knows about the secret manual. It's the little monk Huiji. Maybe it was the little monk Huiji who stole it. Ningxu said sneakily. Benefactor. The little monk Huiji's voice faintly sounded. Ningxu turned his head to look. You're here. It's a bit dark so I didn't see you. Other than the little master Huiji, only you and I know about this matter. Are you the one who did it? Xiaobo finally said what was in his heart. If wants to cultivate, it's not that I don't agree. It's just that we don't know if it's real or fake. We need to know if this secret manual is real first. Ningxu was speechless. Am I stupid or did I eat too much? Fortunately, I stole it back from the devil sect. Now I have to steal it again. I know that my cultivation uncle will definitely let me cultivate. Why would I do such a useless thing? I'm willing to believe you. The Zhao family manor will be handed over to you in the future. Thank you, uncle. Ningxu said obediently. After a while, the Zhao family fortress quieted down. However, outside the Zhao family fortress, there was an uproar. The reason was that when a person was peeing, he found that he had stepped on something. Then, he put it in his arms and went back to his tent to take a look. Damn, it was a secret manual of a divine technique. His heart was beating wildly. He was afraid that others would find it, so he quickly hid it. After getting something precious, people would be very nervous and in disbelief. However, he was still found by others. In order to fight for the secret manual, they killed him. They didn't care whether the secret manual was real or not. They just killed the person and took the secret manual. In any case, this secret manual was like a bait, making the people stationed outside the Zhao family fortress kill each other. In the face of such a temptation, not everyone could hold on. A few days later, Ningxu heard that several people had died. Now the secret manual was missing. It was said that it was stolen by a disciple of the everlasting sect. Now all the sects were looking for the disciple who stole the secret manual. Chapter 1139. Xiaobo heaved a sigh of relief. No matter what, these people were no longer focusing on Zhao family fort. However, Xiaobo still had a suspicion in his heart. Why did the people from the demon sect do things like this? They even lost the secret manual. Only an idiot would do something like this. However, it was beneficial to him. He wanted to succeed in cultivating the first volume of Gui Yuan Divine Technique before the martial arts world election. If he succeeded, he could be re-elected as the martial arts world's chief. At that time, Xiaobo was becoming more and more distrustful of this nephew who came back from the demon sect. Ba. Huiji walked to Ningxu's side. Benefactor, don't you feel guilty for doing this? Little monk, don't talk nonsense. Ningxu stared at Huiji. I didn't do anything. Huiji stared at Ningxu with his clear eyes. His eyelashes were very long and reflected in his eyes. Even if you stare at me, I didn't do it. Ningxu spread his hands. Aren't you tired of staring at me every day? Ningxu stretched. It seemed that it was time to leave Zhao family fort. Before he left, he had to set a fire. He had to hurry back and take the medicine. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to change back. He would really become a transvestite with breasts and an Adam's apple. Little monk, do you know martial arts? Ningxu asked. Huiji nodded. A little. Ningxu rolled his eyes. This little monk was very humble. He was probably an expert. However, why did he snatch his bag? Ningxu wanted to spar with Huiji, but after thinking about it, he gave up. Why would he bully a child? Ningxu turned and left. Ba. Ningxu rolled his eyes. You won't be able to reform me, a witch from the demon sect. Ningxu asked Meiwu to pack his things and prepare to leave. Meiwu was very happy and quickly packed his things. Ningxu went to the woodshed and grabbed some firewood. He poured oil on it and lit it, then threw it into Xiaobo's study. Then she set the whole woodshed on fire and fled with Meiwu. Before he left, he even carved some words on the wall at the gate of the Zhao family fortress. Holding the dagger, he concentrated his qi into his dantian and engraved the words, "Zhao Bo is a scoundrel. I will take back the devil cult's possession sooner or later." These words were engraved very deeply and very big. Then Ning Shu and Mei Wu mounted the horses and galloped away. Everyone in the Zhao family fort was busy putting out the fire, and did not care about Ning Shu, who had run away. Ning Shu turned his head and saw the blazing flames in the direction of the Zhao family fortress. The flames illuminated the sky red. "Hiya!" Ning Shu squeezed the horse's belly and raised the horsewhip. The sound of the horse's hooves was hurried. When they passed by a small town to rest, Ning Shu heard many people discussing the Zhao family fort's fire. Many people guessed that the martial arts alliance master had taken something from the devil cult, so the devil cult used this method to take revenge on the Zhao family fortress. Some people whispered that the alliance master had something that could make people become immortals. Once they got it, they could ascend and become immortals or gods. Ning Shu was speechless. This rumor was really outrageous. Ascension in broad daylight? The holy devil cult probably spread the news. The more bizarre it was, the faster it spread. After all, Zhao Bo was the martial arts alliance master. The more people focused their attention on Zhao Bo, the more advantageous it would be for the devil cult. Moreover, the righteous faction did not have time to attack the devil cult. They were all muddle-headed, and did not know whether to continue tracking the Wuxia sect disciple who had escaped with the secret manual, or to find Zhao Bo to get the secret manual. However, these people were prepared. They sent people to track down the secret manual sect disciple, while keeping an eye on the Zhao family fortress. At the same time, a kill order was issued by Zhao Bo himself. The target was Zhao Yi, who used to be a member of the devil cult called Qi Yi. If anyone could kill Zhao Yi, they would get 500 taels of gold, and become a disciple of the Zhao family fortress. Ning Shu saw the kill order. 500 taels of gold was a huge sum. Once Ning Shu returned to the holy devil cult, he did not do anything but go to Elder Shen to ask for medicine. "Hurry up and give me the medicine." After not seeing him for a while, Ning Shu felt that Elder Shen's hair had decreased again. Moreover, the number of medicine men had also decreased. Did he torture someone to death? What medicine? Elder Shen's face was filled with confusion. Ning Shu was expressionless. He touched the thing protruding from his neck. "The medicine to eat this." Elder Shen shook his head. "There is no such medicine." Ning Shu was speechless. "You said to eat medicine." "I was just saying. I am going to tell Brother Sect Master that you want to turn me into a medicine man, and even said that you want to transform me into a man." Elder Shen was speechless. "Take it. Twice a day." Ning Shu heaved a sigh of relief and took the medicine. He could not really be neither a man nor a woman like this. After returning to the holy devil cult, Ning Shu began to cultivate. After a while, it would be the martial arts world's general election. Ning Shu was still preparing to participate in the martial arts world's general election. Of course, it was more to cause destruction. After taking the medicine for a period of time, Ning Shu's body became normal. He settled down to cultivate. There was already enough qi energy in his dantian to form a qi form, a dragon-shaped qi energy. Now her strength had increased by a large margin. Ning Shu and Yi Hua asked for a group of people to prepare to participate in the martial arts world's general election. After all, the holy devil cult was also a member of the Jianghu. How could they not attend such a grand event of the Jianghu? Yi Hua looked at Ning Shu indifferently. "Haven't you played enough?" "Sect Master, I am not playing," Ning Shu hurriedly said. "Everything I do is for the holy devil cult. This time, I will definitely win glory for our holy devil cult," Ning Shu said. "This time, we are going to see the strength of these sections. Know yourself, know your enemy, and you will not be defeated in 100 battles." Yi Hua did not say anything. Ning Shu waved his hand. Ning Shu could only leave the main hall. After that, Yi Hua sent a group of people to Ning Shu. Everyone in the holy devil cult was wearing black clothes. Wherever they went, they would be very conspicuous. Ning Shu sat in a luxurious carriage and slowly headed towards Mount Song, where the martial arts world's general election would be held. However, on the way to Mount Song, he met the travel-worn little monk Huiji. The little monk was alone. He was the only child. The clothes he was wearing were very old, and seemed to be covered with a layer of dust. Ning Shu was sitting by the window of the inn. When he looked down, he saw a manservant from a rich family bowing and nodding his head while talking to the little monk Huiji. After saying a few words, the little monk followed the manservant and left. Ning Shu jumped down from the window and followed the two. When they arrived at a big house, the manservant brought Huiji into the house. Ning Shu narrowed his eyes and circulated the energy in his dantian. He stepped on the wall and flipped over the top of the wall. This house was not small. Ning Shu saw the manservant bring the little monk Huiji into the house. Ning Shu jumped on the roof and opened the roof tiles to see the situation inside the house. "Little master, you finally came. I think I have been possessed." A fat man grabbed the little monk Huiji's hand and pressed it against his chest. He had an expression of enjoyment on his face. Ning Shu was speechless. "Ba. Benefactor, please let go." After all, the little monk knew martial arts. He immediately retracted his hand. "Even your voice is so pleasant to hear." The pig-headed man looked at the little monk Huiji with an infatuated expression. Chapter 1140. Huiji bowed. "Since the benefactor is fine, I will take my leave." Huiji turned around to open the door, but he realized that it was locked from the outside. He couldn't open it at all. "Little master, with your body, it is a pity to be a monk. If you follow me, I can guarantee that you will live a good life. It is much better than being a monk." The perverted pig rubbed his hands and got close to Huiji. Huiji said fiercely, "Young master, please have some dignity. I am a Buddhist. Do you want to blaspheme the Buddha?" The perverted guy's body trembled. "Your voice is so nice, so nice. Say it again, say it again." Ning Shu was speechless. Huiji met a pervert. Moreover, he was a pervert. The perverted guy got close to Huiji. Huiji kicked the perverted guy's stomach. The perverted guy's stomach shook, causing Huiji to take 2 steps back. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows. This perverted guy actually knew martial arts. "Interesting, I like to play like this." The perverted guy grabbed Huiji's arm and the two of them started to fight. Ning Shu couldn't help but cover his eyes. The little monk's martial arts were really bad. He thought that he was just being humble, but he didn't expect that his martial arts were really bad. Very quickly, Huiji was controlled. Huiji's expression was a little panicked, and he looked really weak. After all, he was just an 8-year-old kid. Facing such a situation, he was stunned. Ning Shu shrugged his shoulders. At this time, would the Buddha save you? If you couldn't even save yourself, how could you save the world? Ning Shu jumped down from the roof. He kicked open the window and jumped into the house. "Who is it?" The perverted guy looked at Ning Shu in annoyance. But when he saw Ning Shu, he started to drool. Ning Shu was dressed in red with a bell tied to her waist. She looked very beautiful. "Another one. Good. At this moment, the wretched man was unbuttoning his pants, revealing an indescribable part. Ning Shu was speechless. What an assortment of tastes. Is he an omnivore? Female benefactor, hurry up and leave. The little monk Huiji and Ning Shu shouted. "Oh, are you going to sacrifice yourself to save me?" Ning Shu was speechless. People should take good care of themselves. Ning Shu pulled out the dagger tied to his calf, and appeared in front of the wretched man in a flash. With a flash of the blade, blood spurted out. Ning Shu had directly cut off the vulgar man's manhood. Ah! The wretched man let out an inhuman howl of pain. Ning Shu grabbed the little monk Huiji's collar, and jumped out of the window. He stepped on the wall and flipped over the wall, heading back to the inn. After returning to the inn, Ning Shu let go of the little monk Huiji's collar. "Thank you, benefactor, for saving my life." Huiji and Ning Shu clasped their hands together and bowed. "Didn't you want to save the world? Why do you still need someone to save you?" "Tsk. Ning Shu shook his head and said. Huiji looked at Ning Shu. "You are Zhao Yi?" "No." Huiji didn't care about Ning Shu's identity. "No matter what, thank you, benefactor, for saving my life. The head of all evil. Why don't you save him?" Ning Shu looked at Ning Shu with a smile. Huiji was speechless. Why are you alone? Ning Shu tore off a drumstick and handed it to Huiji. There's only meat here, nothing else. Thank you, benefactor, but this little monk doesn't eat meat. Ning Shu stared at Huiji. If you are in a desperate situation and this drumstick is the only thing you can eat, if you don't eat it, only death awaits you. Then would you eat it or die? This little monk chooses death. Ning Shu was speechless. For a moment, Ning Shu felt that he had no integrity. But living was Ning Shu's most important thing. As long as it wasn't something that would hurt others, Ning Shu would choose the choice that was beneficial to himself. And Huiji would sacrifice himself for a righteous cause and choose to believe. So Ning Shu didn't understand why he had to cut off his flesh and feed it to the eagle. However, everyone had different principles and beliefs. Prepare some vegetarian food for this little monk, Ning Shu said to the waiter. Thank you, benefactor. Huiji sat down and didn't say anything when he saw Mei Wu, who was guarding Ning Shu. The waiter served a bowl of vegetarian noodles. Huiji bowed. Thank you, benefactor. The little monk ate very elegantly. In a short while he finished the bowl of noodles. He was obviously hungry. Why are you alone? Ning Shu asked while drinking tea. I've been training all the time. Oh, how does it feel? Ning Shu asked. The little monk had lost weight. Obviously he had suffered a lot. All living beings suffer. The world is like purgatory, Huiji said. It's impossible to enlighten the people of the world. But this little monk still wants to enlighten the people of the world. Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva also knew that hell couldn't be empty, but he still fell into hell resolutely, Huiji said. It's good that you are happy. Continue to work hard. Ning Shu had experienced so many worlds, but he had never encountered a beautiful world. If there was happiness, there would be misfortune. Maybe all of them were happy. Some people's happiness was built on other people's pain. But this guy's Buddhist heart was very firm. Are you going to Mount Song? The small monk asked Ning Shu. Ning Shu nodded. Can this little monk travel with you? Have you thought it through? Ning Shu said indifferently. I am a member of the Holy Devil cult. Aren't you afraid that others will say that you are colluding with the Holy Devil cult if you travel with us? This little monk has a clear conscience. If you want to follow, then follow. After resting in the inn for a night, they continued their journey the next day. Huiji followed behind the group on foot. Ning Shu, who was sitting in the carriage, turned around to look at him. Huiji was carrying a cloth bag and wearing dirty cloth shoes. What an ascetic monk. He was so harsh on himself. The group arrived at a small town near Mount Song. When Ning Shu's group arrived at the small town, they immediately attracted strange and vigilant gazes. This was a gathering of the pugilistic world's righteous path. Why did people from the Holy Devil cult come? Were they here to cause trouble? Junior brother Huiji. When Monk Huikong saw Huiji, he had tears in his eyes. After such a long time, there was no news of this little junior brother at all. This made the people of Wuyu Temple very anxious. Why are you with the people from the Holy Devil cult? Monk Huikong asked Huiji. He even stretched out his hand to protect Huiji behind him. Ning Shu stuck his head out of the carriage. It is like what you saw. The little monk is colluding with our Holy Devil cult. Don't talk nonsense. Monk Huikong immediately retorted. Senior brother, I met them on the way. After saving me, I followed behind them. Little Monk Huiji explained. Monk Huikong was still very vigilant. He said to Huiji, Junior brother, the abbot is also here. Quickly go and see him. The old man has been worried about you. Okay. Little Monk Huiji gave Ning Shu a Buddhist bow. Thank you, female benefactor, for saving my life. Ning Shu propped up his chin and said lazily. You still say that you want to convert the world. Our Holy Devil cult is not human. You avoid us like snakes and scorpions when you see us? Chapter 1141. Little monk, come and convert us. We have so many bad people, Ning Shu said. Didn't they say that all living things are equal? Huiji. Benefactor, I'll take my leave. Huiji turned and left. Little monk, is the meat soup delicious? Ning Shu shouted at Huiji's back. Next time, I'll treat you to roast chicken, not chicken noodle soup. Junior brother, did you break your precepts? Huikong hurriedly asked Huiji. Huiji shook his head calmly. No. Which don't talk nonsense. Ningxu scolded. Then he turned to Huiji and said, don't let that witch's words affect your Buddhist heart. I won't. Ningxu's group stayed at the inn. However, wherever they went, they were eyed covetously by the righteous sections. Ningxu ate as usual, drank as usual, and slept as usual. However, Mei Wu increased his vigilance. People from the demonic sect swaggered into the righteous sect's territory, and were surrounded by righteous sections. They were really courting death. The martial arts competition was in a few days. Ningxu, dressed in red, walked at the front of the group and headed for the arena. The arena was very big. There were 2 huge gongs and drums on both sides. Flags fluttered in the wind. It was a solemn scene. The arena was surrounded by onlookers. Xiaobo sat at the top. The sects and clans sat in their designated positions. However, there was no place for the demonic sect. Ningxu flew onto the arena expressionlessly. Is this how you treat your guests? I came to the martial arts competition on behalf of the sect master, but there's no place for me. If you don't arrange a place for me, don't even think about the selection today. You're from the demonic sect. Why are you participating in the martial arts competition? There's no place for the demonic sect. An elder of the Wuji sect said coldly. The demonic sect is also a part of the Jianghu. Why can't they participate? Did the martial arts conference clearly state that the demonic sect members can't participate? Ningxu said expressionlessly. It meant that all sects could participate, but the demonic sect was excluded. Furthermore, the demonic sect had never participated in the martial arts world general election. Is the demon sect going to cause trouble at this time? Xiaobo, who was sitting at the head of the table, said with a dignified expression. Are you that afraid of our holy devil cult? I am just here to watch the battle. What are you afraid of? You have so many people. Why are you afraid of us? Coward. Xiaobo stared sharply at Ningxu and said, arrange a seat. Ningxu clapped his hands. That's right. Ningxu walked to his seat with his hands clasped behind his back. He sat on the chair and waved at Mei Wu. Mei Wu took out a plate of melon seeds and peanuts. Ningxu grabbed a handful of melon seeds and said while eating, hurry up. Xiaobo stared at Mei Wu, who was holding a plate of melon seeds, with some doubt between his brows. Demonic sect witch, you actually dared to injure my sect's disciple. The sect leader of Mount Song's sect suddenly stood up. Ningxu threw away the melon seeds and rolled his eyes at the sect leader of Mount Song's sect. Which disciple did I injure? Stand up and let me see. My nephew can't even get out of bed right now. He's on the verge of death. The witch is vicious and merciless. She crippled my nephew's manhood. The sect leader of Mount Song's sect was abnormally furious. Ningxu patted the dust off the melon seeds on his hand, and stared at the sect leader of Mount Song's sect with a strange expression. The sect leader of Mount Song's sect was baffled. He shouted, you can't refute it, right? TSK, I'm just wondering if it's because of my family background. Your nephew is not only lustful, but he also has a fetish. Do you also have this problem? Ningxu's face was full of disdain. That filthy man even wanted to offend me. If I don't cut him off, are you going to keep him for the new year? Nonsense, my nephew isn't that kind of person. The sect leader of Mount Song's sect felt the strange gazes of the surrounding people, so he anxiously quibbled with a pale face. You witch! Not only did you injure him, you even used this kind of absurd thing to slander my nephew. Ningxu raised his chin and rolled his eyes. Why don't you say that your nephew is elegant and a gentleman? Today, this sect leader will take revenge for my nephew and cripple you, witch. The sect leader of Mount Song's sect was about to rush over to Ningxu when he was stopped by the others. Ningxu stretched his neck. Come. Young miss, there are so many of them. I reckon we won't be able to defeat them. Mei Wu held the plate of fruits and said, I'll sweep them away. Mei Wu. Amitba. The little monk Huiji stood up. Benefactor, that girl is speaking the truth. Huiji. Monk Huiji said to Huiji, don't worry about her. She's a member of the demonic sect. Senior martial brother, This junior martial brother was there at the time. The little monk Huiji clearly described the situation at that time, causing the people present to look at the sect leader of Mount Song sect with strange gazes. When the monks of Wuyo Temple heard that someone wanted to do something to a Buddhist disciple, and force a Buddhist disciple to do something indescribable, their expressions became very interesting. Sect leader of Mount Song sect, our Wuyo Temple wants an explanation for this matter. The abbot of Wuyo Temple said with a cold face. Even a monk wanted to do something. This was simply out of control. That's impossible. Amitba, monks don't lie. The little monk bowed and said. Ningxu nodded. If it wasn't for me, this little monk would have broken his sexual abstinence. Huiji, the monks of Wuyo Temple. That's enough. If there's anything, settle it in private. This is the martial arts assembly, Xiaobo said. The sect leader of Mount Song could only sit down indignantly and stare at Ningxu with eyes as sharp as knives. Ningxu, why should I be afraid of you? But I have a question. Isn't the person beside you always with Zhao Yi? You're talking about that idiot Zhao Yi? I arranged for this person to be by his side, but he foolishly believed it. Zhao Yi was killed by Mei Wu. Everything in Zhao family fort was done by Mei Wu. It was all done by him. Mei Wu glanced at Ningxu and didn't say anything. He silently took the blame that Ningxu threw at him. Zhao Yi was killed. Zhao Bo's expression was strange. Of course. He grew up eating the demonic sex rice and even stole the demonic sex things. If I didn't kill him, would I have kept him alive for the new year? Ningxu said matter-of-factly. By the way, remember to give me the 500 taels of gold. Don't think that I don't know that the things are in your hands. The demonic sex things are the demonic sex things. They will be taken back sooner or later. Ningxu looked at Zhao Bo sharply. Zhao Bo's expression didn't change. The demonic sect always says that the things are in my hands, but I don't have anything in my hands. I swear to God. Ningxu shook his head. Don't swear so easily. It won't be good if you get slapped in the face. Let's start the martial arts assembly. Zhao Bo didn't continue to argue with Ningxu. Ningxu sat down, grabbed a handful of sunflower seeds, and began to watch the martial arts competition in the arena. The rules of the martial arts competition were that each sect would fight against each other. The winner would fight against the previous martial arts assembly chief, and the next martial arts assembly chief would be chosen. Of course, it also depended on the person's character. If too many people objected to him being the martial arts assembly chief, there was nothing he could do. Chapter 1142. Ningxu munched on sunflower seeds as he watched the competition on the stage. He felt bored. Basically, it was a fight between you and I, one with a sword and one with a saber. Occasionally, they would spit out blood and suffer some internal injuries. Although Ningxu felt bored, the others were enthusiastic and cheered for their sect's contestants. The Holy Devil sect led by Ningxu was indifferent. I'm not eating sunflower seeds anymore. I'm thirsty. Ningxu placed the sunflower seeds in his hand back into the fruit bowl. Mei Wu took out 2 oranges from the cloth bag and gave them to Ningxu. Ningxu took the oranges and ate while asking Mei Wu, "What do you think of their strength? It's too troublesome. Why don't they just kill them?" Mei Wu said directly. That was why the demonic Dao's evil methods were ruthless. There were unwritten rules in the martial world. However, the demonic Dao's people didn't care about rules. Although the competition was boring, it was almost over soon. The last few people would compete, and the winner would compete with the previous alliance leader. Haha. An extremely arrogant laugh sounded. A white figure flew onto the stage. Everyone looked at the person on the stage. It was a handsome man in white clothes. It's Zhu Yang. Hasn't the everlasting sex Zhu Yang been missing for a long time? I heard that he has the origin returning sacred art. Ningxu narrowed his eyes and looked at Zhu Yang on the stage. Zhu Yang's face was slowly filled with satisfaction. Could it be that this guy succeeded in cultivating it? The origin returning sacred art was divided into 5 volumes. The first 2 volumes were fine, but there were some changes in the last 3 volumes. In Yi Hua's words, the first 2 volumes were correct. If one succeeded in cultivating it, they would be eager to cultivate the later volumes. It was very likely that they would go berserk and burst their blood vessels. This Zhu Yang had been hiding and appearing when everyone was looking at him. Zhu Yang, where have you been recently? The everlasting sect master asked Zhu Yang. Zhu Yang said arrogantly, "Thank you for your concern, sect master, and for the boundless sex pursuit." Zhu Yang's gaze swept across everyone present. The everlasting sect master frowned. Zhu Yang wants to experience everyone's prowess. Zhu Yang stared at the winners on the stage. "Of course, all of you can come at me together," Zhu Yang said calmly, not even mentioning how pretentious he was. Unable to tolerate Zhu Yang's arrogance, someone stood out. "Let me see how powerful you are." Zhu Yang sneered. He stretched out his hand and appeared in front of that person in a flash. He grabbed that person's neck and snapped it. Zhu Yang threw the corpse off the stage. His attack was so ruthless that it took a person's life in an instant. This caused the expressions of the people on the stage to change. Zhu Yang said to them, "All of you can come at me together." Zhu Yang's eyes were filled with killing intent. The few of them looked at each other and raised their weapons to attack Zhu Yang. It was probably because he had been hunted down during this period of time, so he felt depressed hiding. Now that he had mastered the origin returning sacred skill, he wanted to take revenge and vent the resentment in his heart. Zhu Yang killed one of them, snatched the sword from his hand, and slit the throats of several others. Several people fell to the ground with blood spurting from their necks. "How dare you? Impudent." When the crowd saw how ruthless Zhu Yang was killing several people in one move, they were incomparably furious. At the same time, they were shocked by Zhu Yang's strength. After disappearing for a period of time, he actually had such high martial arts attainments. Ning Shu ate the orange expressionlessly. Anyway, it had nothing to do with her. There were plenty of people who would take care of this fellow. Zhu Yang cupped his hands towards Xiao Bo, who was sitting high up. "Now do I have the ability to challenge the alliance leader?" Xiao Bo stood up expressionlessly. "Logically speaking, that is the case. Then please advise me, alliance leader." Zhu Yang cupped his hands and said without any sincerity. Xiao Bo went up the stage and looked at the bloodstains on the ground. "This is a martial arts competition. Why did you kill people? How is this any different from the demon sect?" Hey, what does this have to do with the demon sect? We won't take the blame for this." Ning Shu threw away the orange peel and said, "We were just watching. We didn't do anything. If someone like you were to become the alliance leader of the martial arts world, it would simply be a calamity for the righteous path." Xiao Bo said righteously. Zhu Yang was just a young and impetuous person who couldn't control himself when he gained power. How could he compare to Xiao Bo, who was shrewd and ruthless? Moreover, Xiao Bo had also been the alliance leader of the martial arts world for a period of time. He was more popular than Zhu Yang. Zhu Yang's aura was suppressed by Xiao Bo. He was annoyed and attacked Xiao Bo first. Xiao Bo stretched out his hand and hit Zhu Yang's chest with one palm. The other palm hit Zhu Yang's dantian. Zhu Yang spat out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground. Xiao Bo didn't let Zhu Yang go. He ruthlessly hit Zhu Yang's lower abdomen. Zhu Yang spat out another mouthful of blood. His expression was incomparably painful. "You crippled my dantian and meridians." Zhu Yang looked at Xiao Bo with hatred. His eyes were filled with helplessness and shock. He didn't expect Xiao Bo to be so powerful. "I only crippled your dantian and spared your life. People like you who possess great power will only bring disaster to the world. You'd better take care of yourself," Xiao Bo said indifferently. Ning Shu curled his lips. Why else would people say that old foxes were crafty? Old ginger was spicier. Xiao Bo's move had directly destroyed Zhu Yang's martial arts foundation. Was there anything more painful than being unable to cultivate in the martial arts world? Without the ability to protect himself, anyone could kill him. Moreover, he had arrogantly killed several people just now. These people were the elites of the various sections. It would be strange if they let Zhu Yang go. Xiao Bo even received a commendation for being benevolent and not killing anyone. "Alliance leader, alliance leader," the surrounding people shouted in unison. Xiao Bo waved his hand. Thank you for everyone's love. From today onwards. Wait. Ningxu flew onto the stage. After watching for so long, I'll also spar with you. I can't have made this trip for nothing, right? Demon sect witch. What does us righteous sects choosing the alliance leader of the martial arts world have to do with you? The demon sect is here to cause trouble. In an instant, these sects pulled out their swords and looked at the people from the demon sect with vigilance. Ningxu's expression did not change. I've long heard that alliance leader Zhao's martial arts are powerful. In addition, you've cultivated the Gui Yuan holy technique, making you #1 in the world. I'd like to experience it for myself. What I cultivate is my Zhao family fort's internal cultivation technique. It's not the Gui Yuan holy technique. You've repeatedly said that I have the Gui Yuan holy technique, but you just want to cause chaos in the righteous sections. Xiao Bo stood in front of Ningxu and straightened his chest. He looked like a benevolent and righteous hero. How shameless. Ningxu said with disdain. Come and spar with me. Could it be that alliance leader Zhao is dozens of years old? Yet you're afraid of a little girl like me? Are you afraid that you can't beat me? I don't bully the weak. Moreover, you're a girl. Xiao Bo did not put Ningxu in his eyes. Chapter 1143. Ningxu and Mei Wu waved their hands. Mei Wu pulled out the sword at his waist and threw it to Ningxu. Ningxu grabbed the sword hilt and didn't bother to say anything to Xiao Bo. He raised his sword and attacked. Xiao Bo dodged Ningxu's attack and said with an ashen face, The witch from the demonic sect is courting death. Come and kill me. Ningxu stabbed at Xiao Bo. Xiao Bo also became serious and fought with Ningxu. His face became more and more serious. The others saw that the witch from the demonic sect was evenly matched with the chief. Were the people from the demonic sect so powerful? Zhu Yang killed a few people with a flip of his hand, and Xiao Bo crippled Zhu Yang's martial arts. Now the witch from the demonic sect was actually evenly matched with the chief. Did this mean that the witch from the demonic sect was actually stronger than the chief? Ningxu mobilized the energy in his dantian and slashed at Xiao Bo's sword. Xiao Bo's body sank, and he felt as if a huge rock was pressing down on him. The witch from the demonic sect was so strong. Xiao Bo also became serious, and his body emitted a powerful energy. It was unknown if it was because it was difficult to control this energy, but the veins on his forehead bulged. Ningxu moved his neck. Are you serious now? Xiao Bo took the initiative to attack Ningxu. This time, Xiao Bo's body was much lighter and his attacks were more lethal. Sparks flew when the sword and saber collided. Although Xiao Bo's explosive power was very strong, it was likely that he had not grasped this power. Although he had the power, he did not know how to use it. Ningxu's advantage was that he could control his own strength and use it as if it was his own arm. Ningxu kicked Xiao Bo's chest. Xiao Bo was kicked out of the arena and spat out a mouthful of blood. Ningxu flew down the arena and stabbed his sword towards Xiao Bo's heart. Xiao Bo rolled on the ground, and Ningxu's sword stabbed into the ground. Ningxu pulled out his sword and stabbed at Xiao Bo. Ningxu flicked Xiao Bo's sword away, kicked Xiao Bo to the ground, and stabbed his sword into Xiao Bo's heart. Xiao Bo tightly grasped the blade to prevent his heart from being pierced. The blade of the sword cut his hand, and blood mixed with his palm flowed out. Hand over the origin returning sacred technique. If I'm not mistaken, you've cultivated the origin returning sacred technique. Ningxu's expression was fierce. The breeze blew her hair, and the bell on her waist made a crisp sound. She made people feel that she was indeed a demoness. Ba. Huiji stood out and bowed. Benefactor, revenge breeds revenge. Shut up, go and play. Don't interfere in the matters of adults. Ningxu didn't want to listen to Ba. Ningxu narrowed his eyes. He might as well kill Xiao Bo. Previously he didn't have Qi. Now that he killed Wang Bo, the mission was more or less completed. The masterminds of this matter were these two people. Feeling Ningxu's fierce killing intent, Xiao Bo's face turned pale. He used his greatest strength to push Ningxu back 2 steps. Xiao Bo didn't want to fight with Ningxu anymore. He wanted to escape. Ningxu raised his sword and stabbed toward Xiao Bo's back. This time, no matter what, he had to kill Xiao Bo. Xiao Bo casually pulled a sect's disciple, Ning Shu, and pushed him over to buy time to escape. The disciple who was pushed over by Zhao Bo had a face of fear. Ning Shu forcibly withdrew his sword, and Zhao Bo took the opportunity to escape. Ning Shu dodged the disciple who was rushing towards him. He didn't know which sect's disciple was from, but it wasn't the Holy Devil Cult. Chase after him. Ning Shu shouted at the Holy Devil Cult's people. Mei Wu threw away the fruit platter in his hand, and led the Holy Devil Cult's people to chase after Zhao Bo. However, Zhao Bo was a cunning old fox. He ran away in a short while. Miss, he's gone. Mei Wu reported to Ning Shu, who was on horseback. Ning Shu frowned. He turned on the positioning system, but he couldn't find Zhao Bo's location. Ning Shu, it was like this every time. These tools more or less had some limitations. For example, this system could only locate important people, such as the protagonist. Ordinary passers-by couldn't be located at all. Also, it had to be fucking expensive. What a scam. Who knew who made these things? He wanted to complain. This was a blatant scam to the mission takers. This positioning system was probably based on a person's luck or merit. However, Zhao Bo was a martial arts alliance leader. Why couldn't they find him? What Ning Shu didn't know was that Zhao Bo died not long after Qi Yi returned to Zhao Castle. He was really just a side character. His purpose was to decorate Qi Yi's family background. As for the love and hatred involved, Ning Shu didn't know either. Go to Zhao Castle. Ning Shu urged the horse's stomach, and led a group of black-clothed Holy Devil Cult's disciples towards Zhao Castle. When they arrived at Zhao Castle, they charged straight into it. Where's Zhao Bo? Ning Shu stared at the Zhao Castle's disciples. Who are you? How dare you swagger into Zhao Castle? Do you know where Zhao Castle is? Zhao Ling, pointed at Ning Shu. Where's Zhao Bo? Ning Shu said indifferently. My husband hasn't returned from the martial arts convention. Please come again next time. Madame Zhao said calmly. Didn't he return? Oh, aren't you Zhao Yi's subordinate? You, Zhao Ling, looked at Mei Wu with confusion. Ning Shu waved his hand. Mei Wu didn't know what Ning Shu wanted to do this time. Kill them all? Once Mei Wu said this, the Zhao Castle's people became nervous. Zhao Linger's face turned pale. Do you know who my father is? How dare you? Your father is capable, not you. Who are you trying to scare with your father's name? Ning Shu grimaced. My elder brother is the Holy Devil Cult's leader. Holy Devil Cult? You are the Holy Devil Cult? Zhao Ling looked fearful as she grabbed Madame Zhao's arm tightly. Ning Shu bared his shining teeth. We are the Holy Devil Cult that kills people like scything flax. Ning Shu waved his hand. Mei Wu asked, kill them all. Burn it. Burn the entire Zhao Castle, Ning Shu said calmly. Yes. The Holy Devil Cult's people disappeared in a flash to start the fire. Ning Shu turned and left Zhao Castle. Not long later, Zhao Castle was covered in thick smoke. Everyone in Zhao Castle hurried to put out the fire. The place that was burned previously had just been repaired. Now it was burned again. Let's go back. Ning Shu said when everyone arrived. The group returned to St. Devil Peak in a grandiose manner. Back at St. Devil Peak, Ning Shu sent people to inquire about Zhao Bo. Zhao Bo had disappeared and didn't return to Zhao Castle. Who knew where he was hiding? Miss, Holy Devil Cult's leader wants you to go over for lunch. The maid outside Ning Shu said. Got it. Ning Shu got off the bed and walked towards the main hall. Holy Devil Cult's leader. Ning Shu bowed to Yi Hua. Yi Hua sat on a chair and nodded. Sit down. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.